some fucking bandits.
You live?
Yep.
Okay.
I hear it.
I hear it. I love that intro. It's so sexy. All
We
right.
got our ghost DM today.
We do. We have basically I've decided to take a bit of a powwow. I am chilling right now, but I will be DMing all the same. So welcome to episode 27.
Why do I imagine? Imagine you wearing like an Ebenezer Scrooge, like a night.
Yeah, dude.
Night robe.
Yeah, night robe with the little cat.
Free ball. Listen, and I'm free ball. So
The bonnet
then-
also, right?
Then you
You
need
gotta
to
wear that little the
you
frill
need to
around
stay
it.
off camera.
oh yeah, I won't.
I'm
be.
not trying to
I
see that.
promise you. Listen, man, this guy's gonna stay in his cave work, okay? All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, we're episode 27 of Dithra and 1001 Shards. Big up! We are literally on session 27, which is incredible. I knew we would get here eventually because that's how time works, but the fact that we've got here is fucking amazing. So I want to give a shout out to all the players. We appreciate you. Well, I appreciate you. So a little bit of a recap-a-rooney here. Last session started off with, let's see here, Okoye talking to Gond about some leads he gained from his contacts or connections in Sarissa to Kabando. He learned of an associate, he remembered an associate that was a skilled blacksmith named Xena. She was a part of the Slashes, which was his former crew. Upon learning of this, he learned that she was alive, petitioned to Gon to, hey, we should go there because Kabando is a lot less lax than Sarissa. Above table, Sarissa is like Thailand. It's very, very, very strict laws. You do not want to fuck around in Thailand. Same thing with Sarissa. You do not want to do illegal activities here because they will lock you up for a kablooing years. Or just not lock you up, just kill you.
Cane you in the street.
Yeah, it's not cane
Yeah.
stone. This is no joke. But you also learn that crime is a lot less, more common in Kabando. Also, the ethnic demographic is a little bit different though too. Instead of a lot of Easterners, it's more Westerners and Northerners, which is interesting because it is still relatively close to the Eastern Archipelago, which I finally named above table, guys. It is called the Chains of Castellina.
Ooh,
So-
sounds nice.
I do like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, and yeah, so shout out there, but it's relatively close to there. Kabando is, but it is no, it isn't that many Easterners there.
Is that the spelling?
It's no, it's okay. Well, let me.
Just
If I can
for
read-
documentation purposes.
Yeah, no, it's Castelia, Castellina.
Oh, so
Yeah,
no,
well,
there's
so-
no
Yes,
Castelia.
You're
I can't
you're
speak
adding
Spanish.
You're adding an in in there. I don't know what you're speaking.
Oh, no. It's okay. No, it's two L's. It's two L's.
Castella?
Castilla.
Castella. So doesn't that just mean castle?
Like
I
that?
don't think so. Yes.
All right.
All right. So
Castella.
I don't speak Spanish, guys. I'm working on it. My hook on phonics, my Rosetta's still on the level 1, so we're getting there. That being said, after that happened with Gon, you also know what a couple of people told too. One, Koa came back from his smithing and mining missions. One, he gained a single ingot from smelting down a variety of goods. I think you were like a 2 or a 5. It was like crazy.
No, I rolled a 1.
Oh yeah, you ordered 1. Yeah, so you gained
I
1
rolled
ingot out
a
of like.
1 on a D100.
Yeah, it was
Hey. Mhm.
pretty bad.
But he did gain 1 ingot from that.
Classic.
Certified Hood Classic there. Upon doing that, the party, upon doing that, and also purchasing a variety of other goods, going over to Lucette. Lucette discovered that, hey, I have a lot of money. Hey, Harry, I want to start my own business. I'm not a pirate. I'm not a warrior, but I have been taking some lessons from Bobby Boufflé, and I can make some all kind of good foods there. Harry's like supportive boyfriend. Listen, we can do it. Yeah, thumbs up, smile. And upon learning that Lucette had like 10,000 copper pieces, because you guys just made that much money that even split, you guys have given people like 10,000 copper pieces. That to start a food cart, food cart into a essentially a guild hall when you guys get the chance. After talking to Harry, they both went over to Koa to basically commission a cart for them to do their business in. So me and Jay/Koa nerded out for about 15 minutes about woodworking as we discussed all kinds of edges, finishes. It's a 58 finish, yeah. Very nice finishes.
I think there's discussion of grains and
Oh yeah.
inlays and it was literally I rewatched it. It was like 15 minutes of us like, yeah, man, grain. Dude, I do the inset. If I get the bronze inlay in there,
it was some wood on wood action.
It was intense.
Yeah.
I was like, seriously. Yeah. So after about 15 minutes of just some wood off there, pause. It was commissioned after talking to the head of the blacksmith guild, Kwame, and the next day did tasks, and you guys did receive. Not next day, several days passed, and you guys did several downtime actions, gaining new traits and abilities. Upon getting your cart, and it was what can only be described as baller as fuck. This thing, I'm not gonna nerd out about it. If you want to, I spent it was literally like 15 minutes of the game talking about it. So if you want to watch that, go back and watch that.
Spinning rims.
It was. I mean, it had all kind of. It had an umbrella, an adjustable umbrella, a built-in wood stove
Hold on, calm down now. Jump into a cold shower before you can get worked up.
It's like it all kinds. Deep breaths. But it had all kinds of things going on. There's a really nice cart, and they made some money. So what they realized is that unlike the extreme danger of the money they've gained so far, hey, this food cart thing is pretty safe.
It's honest work, you mean?
It's pretty safe. We're not just dying. It's not a lot of money, but it's not a little bit of money. It's okay. So it's like, wow, we're actually making some money here. This isn't bad. So after discovering honest day's work, I was like, you know what? Nah, we're gonna go out and go to Kabando and fucking shit up. You guys
do some mud rat
stuff. I want to do something for the rest of my friends.
Oh, I love that kid. It's so funny.
I want to get rid of my friends.
He's a legend for that. He peaked too early. It's downhill rest of his life after that one.
He peaked at 7, dude. That's a tough age to peak at, dog. It's 7. But nevertheless, you guys, after that was resolved, you guys had your ballistas loaded up too. So you had your cannons on deck, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and headed off to go to Kabando. On the way there, you guys hit a patch of mist. Along that patch of mist, you guys were shot at. You guys were hitched and boarded by a much smaller sloop. Upon getting hit and them boarding your ship, you discover that, something's have attack of opportunity, and not 5e attack of opportunity, that good attack of opportunity, that 3.5 attack of opportunity, where if you do anything that isn't hit me in the face, or you leave my square, you're gonna get styled on. So, upon discovering that, they whooped their monkey asses and then pushed them back, where some of them fled, and then it turned into a battleship as the party was attacking the boat in mist. And they were lucky, and with Sophia's skilled mariner skills, and Koa's quick shot, and also Juan shooting his phone. They lit that boat up. It sunk into the sea, and you guys had basically with a net. I believe Koa threw a net. If that's correct. Through a net, landed 2 of the prisoners. One was a
No, I did that. That's the only thing I did that game.
Yeah.
Oh, Harry. Yeah.
Harry did that.
Harry.
One. Yeah.
Harry threw the net over there, and I believe it was an Easterner and a Southerner woman. They're both women, I think. That's what my notes tell me. So, and you guys put them aboard. And as you put them aboard, that's where we left off. So, as you guys have a Eastern and Southern woman as well, here on your ship, they are in a net. They look utterly terrified.
Good. You see Gon remove his helmet to show his face and sets it very calmly on a table next to nearby, whatever. It's a dramatic effect. And he squats down and looks at one and grabs her through the net by the face just to get a good look at her. Like he's
like he's a slaver expecting
pretty
flesh.
much he's grabbing her
Pretty
by
much
the
sounds
face and holding it there.
Let me
So-
look at this gift horse.
Yeah. But he looks her in the eye when he's like, it's like, how much do you value your life?
Which woman do you start with, the Easterner or the Southerner?
Well, we'll flip for it.
Flip it.
1 Easterner, 2 Southerner.
Okay.
Yeah, he grabs the Eastern woman and just by her face, kind of pulling in.
Oh.
He's like, how much do you value your life? Trying to look as scary as possible.
All right, she's gonna make him. Oh, I mean, you're a fucking master outlaw. Or close you're fucking identical. So let me roll. This is a morale check.
Yeah, I'm master. Who's the master?
This is gonna be a. She's gonna have to roll a 19 or higher on this D20.
All right.
But she does not.
Did not.
She
get
does not.
close.
Not even close. She looks at you terrified, and you ask, "What exactly? Who are you? On the ship?" I'm sorry, I just want to confirm.
No, at first, how much do you value your life? It's just
That's
a
what it was.
simple question.
She nods and says, "Greatly. I joined their crew. I mean, you understand. You're sailors. We just tried to make some money. You thought you'd be an easy hit through the ship, through the mist. We thought we outnumbered you, and we thought we could take your stuff, but you're wrong. What are you gonna do with us?" And she looks you up and down. She looks pretty terrified.
It depends on what you can give me. And he looks at her again. He's like, I want information.
She nods.
What can you tell me about the Red Serpents? Have you worked for them? Do you know anybody?
And choose your words very carefully.
Imagine Koa just rolls up behind him with an axe just set up.
Right.
Big old
like,
warhammer. Just that big old warhammer laid across his traps with his arms out over top of it.
Nice.
And you see behind you, Harry Lucette has a cast iron pan behind her. She's ready for action as well too. She can't really fight, but she's pretty surgical with that cast iron pan. But
You don't want to get your lumps.
there you go. I'm gonna roll the 100 here. She looks and she says, I've heard a little bit about the Red Vipers, but I'm not too much. They're a pretty big crew. That's what I know. They're out there. Somewhere in some isle. That's about all I know. I don't know too much about them. We just kind of started out. And she looks at you. She says, "Listen,
Before she can
it-
finish her sentence, he stands up when she says she has no information and boots her off the edge into the water, wrapped up and restrained.
All right, she's off the boat. All right. The southern woman looks utterly terrified and is snot crying, like snot just pouring down. She looks fucking distraught.
Oh,
And And she says, and she's like trying, if she's like standing up, she's like collapsed, right? She's like on the ground, like snot pouring down her face. She looks utterly terrified.
Gon will walk over and squat down and look at her. He doesn't grab her, and sees how sad and messed up she is. And he grabs a dagger out of his waistband and hands it to her, and clasps her hands around it like he's giving it to her.
Okay.
And then says, like, good luck. And boots her off the edge too.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to so fun fact for ladies and gentlemen at home, most people can't actually swim. At this time, something cool about pirates, whatever, is that most of them could not actually swim. It was utterly terrifying to be at sea. That's why
falling in the ocean anyway, whether you could swim or not. I mean,
well, yeah, that's true too. But so what was so effective about like the plank as like a threat was just the fact that none of them could swim as a threat. So I'm gonna roll D20.
Good
luck. Three or lower, they can swim. No, I think it's swim or not. There we go. So. Okay, so the 3 or higher, 3 or lower means they can swim. I know they can swim. You see them flop around, laying around. Gon, you are 100%. No, I don't know. Gon, Koa, you are like 90% certain they're dead. So as the ship goes through the patch of mist, you guys are successful there. You guys didn't gain any information. Gone for doing what your class or what your profession is good at, you gain inspiration. That's what you do. You're an intimidator. You didn't learn too much useful information about them, about the Red Vipers, but you tried.
Yeah, I think Gon, immediately knowing the other person that runs with them has no affiliation either. He's like,
no, it makes sense, dude.
You're
an outlaw.
No more mouths to feed. Poof.
Yeah, the shit's not a handout anymore.
No, legit, no, dude. It's as a master outlaw and a member of a crew. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, man. Yeah, get the boot. So as you guys
to the table,
that's true. They can help. So that was, I believe, day 1. I believe I said it was a 3-day journey to get to Kabando. Is that correct?
Yeah, something like that. It was,
yes.
No, 3 day?
Let me see if I have it written down. I don't think so.
I thought it was 2 days.
Well, 2.5 or 3 days, something like that. Well, okay, well, at least 2 days. So let's see the next thing. All right, so, that day passes. Everyone gains 75 experience points on top of whatever you gain today, because as the day passes, you guys are doing stuff to advance your class, whatever. And as life goes on, we all gain experience.
So this is officially next day?
C.
I level up. Woo!
Level up. So good stuff there. And it's cool. It's cool at home, ladies and gentlemen, is that as you get higher level, it becomes a lot harder to really gain power. But man, like once you're higher level and you face lower level enemies, like you understand just the difference. Because man, a plus 20 to hit is drastically different when they have like 12 armor class. It's like crit.
They better have some DR.
Yeah,
we'll tell you once we face those low level enemies, because so far
these last strong guys we herb stomped those guys. They did nothing.
That's true. Because
one, you guys have
a fucking full plate. Yeah. One, you have on full plate, so let's start there.
Hey, hold on, half plate. Wait a minute.
Oh, half plate. Still,
yeah,
half plate. You guys are, and for people at home, like, so like anyone that has half plate is at least like on the par with like a noble, right? That's thousands of copper pieces gone away just for like somebody that is not immediate needs. So you guys are fucking tanky as shit. So shout out to the guys there, but roll a D100. Don't roll 25 or less, just like last time.
Who is it?
start this fiasco.
Hold on, I'm going back and looking quick. The last one was me.
I'll
So what
start.
do you two throw it?
53.
Hey.
Not
All right,
bad.
Guinevere does have her gold
Above
for her
average.
shenanigans. Somebody give me a D100 for Guinevere. This is gonna be a 35 or higher. Oh no, a lower.
35 or lower?
Yes, for Guinevere's gold finder. Oh no, no mas,
Nowhere
not
close.
that day. Alright, but it does go past swimmingly. The day does pass for any downtime stuff you are doing. I believe it is now day 21.
Sounds right.
No, my notes says 21, so we're gonna go with 20. Just for references here. Okay, so let me check my write that down. Okay, so 21. Okay, so that being said, let's say if it's 2 or 3 days. Somebody give me a D20 call high or low.
I guess it's my turn here. I'm gonna go
Back to
high.
you.
You got it. 2 days.
Nice.
The winds are favorable to you as you do get to Gabando. Let me show you what you see. It's just a reference image, of course, but I do agree. Dawn, she doesn't remember. So, it looks similar to this, except like this part up here, right here, is pure ocean because it's the sea.
Okay.
So do that as well. But it's just a reference thing. So, you see. Let me tell you what you see.
So where's the port?
The port is to the north. I mean, this is just like it's not a 1-to-1. But the port is to the
Like in this general
Somewhere,
area.
yeah. Somewhere
Most of the
there.
water.
Yeah.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Hold on. Let me tell you what you see. Kabando.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I like
have handouts for every city. But here you go. So the fragrant oasis of Kazarad's coast, Kabando, nestled along the shimmering coast of Kazarad, stands at a captivating coastal city that weaves the unique fragrance into the essence of the empire of Calarique. This is like all coastal cities. Calarique is a earner, makes a lot of money. Renowned for its export of incenses and spices, Kabando charms Lassen's ability to transport both residents and visitors across the world aromatic wonder. So this is in exchange for the incenses. Incenses and dyes and spices are huge here. So that's one of the things you see. As soon as you get there, you see the smell. So most cities smell terrible, right? Just awful because of the lack of infrastructure and sewage. So a lot of people just throw out just their waste out in the streets, whatever like that, and they get cleaned up semi-regularly. Kabando is very clean, and you notice that Sarissa was pretty clean too. You notice that in the southern, or at least in
Do they have
Chimi,
indoor plumbing?
Yes.
Oh, do they? All right.
Yes,
sweet.
they do. Yes. Yeah. So Kabando is exceptionally wealthy. Most cities, it's probably the most wealthiest city that any of you guys have ever seen. Just because of one of the goods and things they sell here. The streets are clean, and you know that in Sarissa as well too. The streets are clean as well too. So it's a pretty common, consistent theme of very clean streets. And Okoye would tell you that because of just how tight knit the people live and how often they stay in the cities, disease, if not regulated, is a major problem in places like this. So just cleanliness is extremely important in these cities and areas. So as you get out of you guys get to dock. First things first, you are kind of you smell all manner of spices from saffron, cinnamon, cumin. It literally smells like a very nice Turkish coffee. Yeah, and you see people loading up pallets of spices and folded folding purple linens and buckets and barrels of dye and things like that as well too. And each of you guys know, as being a part of a crew like this, that the money flowing through here is insane. I mean, you see people loading thousands and thousands of dollars worth of goods here. You think probably most caravels, and also too, most caravels like yours have several ballistas as well too. Unlike in Sarissa, where it was very little, it was definitely some warships, but at Kabando, like you see that
they got the billionaire super yachts set up there.
They have their own private or official or navy.
Damn.
So
like a bunch of boats with all the same logos on it?
Correct.
Shit.
Like a trade fleet or something?
You think with this much, as a master outlaw, with this much money being near these waters, they patrol these waters near the city as close very seriously. Mm-hmm. They are not fucking around.
I'm sure they're paid well.
Unlike your ship that has about 4 ballista, because these aren't trade ships, they have about 4 catapults or ballistas on each side of their boat. So they're with deadly prejudice. Something we noticeable too, as you do get to the docks, you see the dock master would approach your ship, and let's say this one is a female. This is a southern female, short haired, cropped close, and she wears standard commoner's clothing. She goes up to the boat and says, "Are you new here or residents, or do you have a docking pass?"
Pull the dock pass. Pull the dock pass out that we received in Sarissa and paid for. We have a pass. Paid for
Kabando?
Paid for in full. It's from Sarissa, saying 1 year that we could dock in Kabando, Sarissa, and Boino.
She smiles and says, "You must be in with the Gold Syndicate then."
Hold up the little placard.
The FBI flip it out.
He says, "Most people don't get that deal. Usually we just pay, so you must be in with somebody." Okay, your dock fee is paid. Please enjoy Kabando's wonders. Try to not get into any trouble. If you're looking to sell goods, I would highly recommend you go to the... Hold on 1 second here. Well, hold on. So, just several things. If you're looking to trade and purchase goods linked to export, she would recommend going to the Spice Emporium. First thing, if you were looking to buy spices and things like that to trade to our northern brethren to the north, it's probably the best place for that. If you're looking for a nice drink, go to the Fisherman's Tavern, also known as Harbor View. That's right outside of the docks, and I'll send this all down to you. If you're looking to treat scurvy, it's pretty common here. Go to the Aromatica Apothecary. They have lemon-infused treatments that'll help with Janus, gout, things like that. If you're looking to try to provision a ride to go from more inland, go to the Nomad's Rest. That's where a lot of the travelers or nomads that ride our giant tortoises mingle, looking to take on people to protect them. And lastly, if you're looking to expand your knowledge, you can go to the library and purchase books here. Yes,
like
Harry.
Harry's eyes grow very big. It's like,
yes,
books?
Harry. They have books. And she would tell you, yes, they do. Back with papyrus. And books here are in papyrus scrolls. Not like your standard Western books. We think that having them rolled up papyrus is a much better way. Stops all the folding of pages. is so barbaric. Just have it on one long page.
And where would that library be?
She says, it's next to the palace. It says, next to Sultan Reza Alabas's palace.
All right. Well, if nobody needs me, I'm gonna be over there.
Nobody. I'm gonna learn. Reading.
No, for like Harry, as just he does not give a shit about anything else. There's a library here. He hasn't seen one in forever. He wants to go right away. So like, if you guys don't need him, fight.
Guinevere, follow Harry. I don't want to get split up too bad.
I agree. I don't want to see the dirty deeds we might do in this town. He just leaves.
Good. You see Gon just 2 big sniffs in the air. What is that? He just starts walking towards whatever smells fragrant. I'm assuming spices, foods.
Yeah, I do. I know. So no, I mean, as soon as you literally leave so it's something interesting. Because of just the amount of spices in the entire town. In this area, the entire town just has a strong hint of just cinnamon, cumin, saffron. The entire town just smells like this. Yeah, I think so. As you leave the docks, there are tons of pallets of spices, right?
Gon's just walking in circles, sniffing, trying to figure out where it's coming from.
It's like
he's just like, it's the air here smells strange. It smells odd.
And you smells of warm baked sweet buns with cinnamon drizzle. You see all manner of traditional. Let me see here. So very traditional, like baklava will be here. Things like that. What's the little Arabian wrap that has like the sweet shit in it, stuff like that. All manner of traditional Arabian and East African dishes would be here, infused with heavy spices, not only for flavor but also for preservation as well too.
Lucette, you have that new nice cart. Might be a good place to spend a little bit of your profits to maybe boost some profits later.
Well, I'm gonna buy some of these spices. 1, 2. I haven't seen these kind of spices in this quantity anywhere else, so I assume they're pretty cheap here, compared to other places as well too. So I could probably get a pretty good price on these spices.
You should get, if you can find a good deal and think we can move a lot of it, I'd say we buy a lot.
Lucette says, if we can get a good deal, spices always sells. Universally, she says.
Ayana, I would work with Lucette. Help her get
Ayana says, she looks and says, of course, Great Chief. And she gets close and says, it shall be done. May the wolf spirit guide us in our journey, Chief. She looks at you up and down. And just leaves. Come on, Lucette. Let me show you what it means to make money and not be a brokey.
That's gonna be a nice friendship.
It's blood natural nutrition, yes. So there we go there.
I could use a drink. What about you, Okoye?
Okoye says, yeah, the Fisherman Tavern, the Harbor View Tavern is pretty nice as well too. I also recommend what she didn't say, was 1 second here. Was the Fragrant Garden. That's where the more layman people go. The Harbor View is more for the traders and merchant ships, like what we appear to be. But if you want to really get down, go to the Fragrance Garden. That's where, last I checked, the slashers kind of has some serious weight in that part of town.
Good. We can solve 2 things. My thirst and my belly. Let's go. Let's go to the, what was the second place called?
Fragrance Garden.
Fragrance Garden. Common I'm just putting common tavern. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's head there.
and
Maybe we can get in contact with your people.
And I'll give you a little snippet about it if you want to put in your notes as reference.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, sweet. Lush orchards.
Yes.
Wow.
So
even the
you know
common
that
place is much nicer than anywhere Gon's fucking been.
yeah. So this is
Different
like basically
lifestyle.
Yeah. What the hell is this?
So this is probably like, okay, so Sarissa is probably like second world-ish, right? But Cabano is first world-ish, right? Where like the average poverty level of people is dramatically higher. So, you know, the workers that harvest the spices and stuff here in these orchids live and work near the fragrance inn. So it's very similar to a workhouse. Does that make sense?
Yeah, public house.
Yeah, a public house. But because of just the wealth of the city, it's a very nice public house. Instead of like, you know, people getting shanked in the alley and work like that, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, we got enough coin. It makes sense.
Right. So Koa, so I know what Gon's going. What are you doing as you get off the boat?
He's probably gonna follow behind Gon as they just kind of head to the tavern. He's sort of just taking in the whole like the kind of I imagine this being some of the best architecture he's seen as far as building. And so he's gonna sort of just kind of mosey behind Gon towards the tavern. Just sort of taking in everything that's here.
As you do so, Okoye does, before Guinevere gets out of sight, rushes up to Guinevere and tells her, okay, listen, if you see a one-eyed Westerner wearing full plate, and he has the symbol of a purple shard on his chest, on his breastplate, do not talk to him. That is Syrian. He is the leader of the Crusaders. He will kidnap you, as he thinks you're probably an apostate for the church, and he will force you to join him if he does catch you, potentially. Or he may just leave you alone, but it's a good chance. Someone that looks like you, and you look skilled, of course, you don't look like a smuck, that he may try to recruit you, whether forcefully or words or forcefully. So just be careful. Whenever just shrugs and just leaves. Share this one with me.
Like this?
Yes, but more Gaelic. Hold on, I got you. I'm gonna copy and paste it for you. I could be saying it wrong. I could be saying it wrong too, actually. Because I'm not.
You're not
Gaelic. Like Gaelic.
Syrian.
There's a couple.
Is it a S or a hard K?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's the hard. Yeah. It's like I don't know what convention.
It's gonna be Syrian until.
Kieran.
It could be Kieran. Sounds more accurate there, right? But I could be wrong.
Well, there's
because Syrian is a name, right? I know people. Syrian's a name.
Let's see.
But Kyrian sounds like a derivative of like Kieran. So I don't know. But I know that Jay will tell me eventually. As he's going through the logs. He's like Irish.com. Oh.
I will find
go
it.
There.
Kieran. I have found.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a link.
Yeah.
And it means little dark one.
Let me bust the YouTube link.
There we go.
Is it foreshadowing?
There you go. Yes.
I
definitely some kind of lore dump right there. I'm like, hold on, let me get the notepad.
Yeah. Go ahead and jot this down. But yes, okay. So let's go with Harry first here, because you are going to the library. As you travel there, Lucetta's coming with you because she won't let you go alone.
Sure. I enjoy the company.
Lucette goes to you as well too.
Does that mean that Ayana's going with him as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like so Lucette getting basically kind of put with Ayana. She's like, at least
you
some
look
of
like
this
a
enjoy
pimp right now, Harry. You got 3 women
I got all
following
the
you.
girls.
Yeah.
I'm
there.
walking in the middle.
He's like, yeah.
They're all
Okay,
different. They're
With
all
my
different
hat.
from different regions too.
Yeah, no kid.
Yeah.
Northerner, Westerner.
A Lucette literally does pull you closer, so you don't do the little pimp walk. Says, no, he's mine. He's mine. No, he's off the table. So she does the classic. And the classic when like a girl approaches you, you're like your girl just like fucking death grips you. It's like
It's like why you talking to her? I said hi. Shit, she walked.
She is the waiter.
Yeah,
She's a waitress.
I was just giving her my order.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sausage is off the menu.
You had to say French fries like that. I know what you meant.
You best be eating vegetarian.
No meat's on the table. But yeah, so Harry goes to the waist stand. As you go, give me a D100. Don't roll 9 or less.
Oh yeah,
Harry.
sure. Why can't I click in the window?
Mhm.
Okay, here we go. Lag. Oh my
Hey. As you are traveling, Harry, with your girl with you and Ayana with you as well too. You're smiling.
god.
You see as you kind of turn a corner. Give me a give me a D20. Call high or low. This is the lens of fate here.
Hi. Oh Christ.
Oh
Wow.
my god!
As you are traveling, you
That was
see
a
that
nat 1, ladies and gentlemen.
you see that several men and women that look like you, kind of as you turn the corner, literally rush up and push you back into like as you kind of going through like in between an alleyway, right? You kind of get pushed back into the alleyway, quickly as a dagger is put up to your throat, and you see several Western men and women look at you and he say, "You're not part of the crew. Who are you?"
I'm a traveler. Just got here right now, actually. You're the first people I talked to in this city.
And you see in the back, there's a man with an eye patch. This man's about 5'11", who's about a walking 190, 200 pounds. He's very well built and on his back, and also he has on steel full plate. And you definitely see that in his hand he has a steel axe head. Well, steel axe has a steel axe head. As he points at you and he says, "Would be a brother under the Shattered One be here alone with these heathens?"
Shopping, as it may. We're going to the library to look at their extensive collection of books. Would you like to join us, brother? And share in the knowledge that is to be gained here.
This is the knowledge of heathens. We use these people to gain money so we can fund our crusades into these pagan lands.
Oh, well, you know what they say. The more you know about your enemy.
Yes. And he smiles and he says, "But are you a believer?" And he does ask you this. He looks you intensely in the eye as you say this, whatever your response is.
Are you asking me if I believed in the Shattered One? Of course. I've seen the power firsthand. Of course I believe.
Above table, are you trying to be deceptive or are you trying to be diplomatic here?
No, he believes in the God thing. He just thinks the church is bullshit.
Okay. Well, then he looks at you and he says,
He was raised on it, so like that's
Yeah,
he
it's
believes in the
ingrained.
mythology, the shards, and everything. He thinks, yeah, sure, why? Like they put it together, a god can happen. Yeah, why not? Sure.
Right.
But the church is bullshit. They're just trying to abuse people.
Makes sense. He looks at you and he extends his hand to you like a Roman handshake and says, "Brother underneath the Shattered One."
And I take his hand and I say, brother, underneath the Shattered One.
He kind of puts his arm over your shoulder and says, "We're holding a meeting tonight." And he says, "I want you to meet us down." And he says, "Meet us underneath the Aromatica Apothecary. We have a base of operations there. And I await your arrival. And he says, "Are you hungry? You poor?"
Oh, not currently. I really just wanted to get to the library and see what they have to offer. We're only here for a short time on business, unfortunately.
Yeah, he looks you up and down. And he says, he looks you up and down and says, "Here," and he actually gives you 100 copper pieces.
Oh shit. Okay.
He looks at you and he says, "You would know
Thank you,
that
brother.
you know that as these people are very religious, people interpret the Shadow One's rules and mythologies and meaning differently. But generally speaking, most Westerners are very charitable to people that are believers, as they believe that giving someone haven that believes is furthering the goal and helping them find all the shattered pieces."
Sure.
So he hands you that, and he says, "My house is your house, as we are brothers." And he lets you go. He then releases you. You see the two Western people that are literally also holding blades to your female companions also back off. They brush them off, and they also give them 25 power pieces as well too, as they don't think they're believers. And he kind of
Thank you for your hospitality.
What about Guinevere?
He kind of straight. Guinevere is she's there too. She's there.
He was.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Guinevere, Lucette, and Ayana were walking with.
Yeah, Gon sent her with
Harry.
her, right?
Gon
Right.
Guinevere
I
with
forgot
Harry,
about that. Okay, so
It's like back him up. We don't know what's going to happen.
Back up here. Okay, Guinevere would also step up as well too. We're not going back. Guinevere would also step up and say, "Of course we're believers." One, she wears like the shattered emblem.
She has
of the
a crest on her
chest,
yeah.
like the Templar robe, you know. So they look at her and they say, "Sister under the shadow," and she bows as well too. She also extends her hand as well too, and she also gives them 50 copper pieces as well to each of them, and says, "Yes, then I shall be there. I'm interested to know about these heathen ways of these people and how we can bring them in instead of trying to extort them. I don't believe in extorting potential members of the Shadow One's flock." And you see that Kyrian looks at her intensely, but he does not interrupt her. And as you see Guinevere and Kyrian look at each other intensely, they kind of do the handshake and they smile at each other and kind of turn and leave. And you head towards the Oasis Library. And
I'm gonna pull Guinevere aside before we get there, and I'm gonna tell her, "Look, you do whatever you want about your faith, but these people, they're very dangerous. I don't think you should go there at all. You should stay away from them. But, you know, that's just my advice."
She turns to you and she says, "We stick out like sore thumbs. Unless you plan to just not leave the boat, they probably will find you again."
I plan to not leave the library, dear.
Well, good luck to you then, but I'll just be careful. And she literally hands you an extra dagger just in case. Hands you a dagger.
She says, "Good luck." Pulls the same move.
Yeah. It says, "Don't die," because
Hits me in the rump. Poop.
Get in there, champ.
But she does say that. Yes, I've met men like Kyrian before. You know, they're more moderates, unlike the more zealots. Even though above table, and from your point of view, it seems pretty zealot to just stop random people at knife point and ask them to believe.
Well, yeah, I mean,
that guy is definitely
that's not a hi. Have you heard about our Lord and Savior? You know, that's
but
like,
they're not
hey, have you heard? Because I'm gonna stab you otherwise.
They're not the Black Triumvirate who's like murdering people. So
correct.
They don't stab first and ask later.
Yeah.
He's like, man, that guy could have been. He could have been. We didn't even ask at all.
These guys at least ask before the stabbing.
Yeah. So they're more moderate.
That's nice, but I mean, they're still the church, you know. So
yeah, it's not joke. So Guinevere says, "Well, now that you're in the library, I assume that I'm sure you can handle a librarian. I don't think anybody's gonna kill you in there. So I'm gonna go and scout out the city and see if I can proselytize and try to make atheists into believers.
Sure. Feel free to spread the words.
And Ayana begrudgingly says, I also can go in there and see if I can find any trade agreements, things like that I can try to navigate. You know, rich people read books. So there's probably rich people in here as well, too. See if I can make some deals.
Yeah, I'm also going to probably want to buy a bunch of books, so I'll need you to take care of that.
Oh, so you need help. Interesting. Okay, I can negotiate. So as you go into war up the stairs, you see that there are also the building is made out of beautiful sandstone with smooth dome-like tops. This building is about 3 stories tall. As far as square footage, roughly somewhere between, I would say, like 10,000 square feet. Is a massive building. As you go inside, there are 2 guards in the front door, and they look at you as you enter. As you go upstairs, seeing you're a Westerner, they say, "Okay, you here to partake in the library?" As they look at you, they're all very well armed.
I am very interested in the great knowledge contained within these halls.
Okay. Do you have a library card?
No, but I'm ready to acquire one if I need one.
They look at you up and down and say, "Okay, please come and speak to the head librarian. He will get you set up. Hopefully you have coin."
I look at Ayana. Yeah.
All right, and as you go up there to the head librarian, we're gonna cut to Don, Koa, and Okoye, and I believe that was everybody, right? That went with you. Don,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know
Or else-
Esteban and they're
Yeah, no, they're definitely
Juan
going.
Jesus
So right
going to the
now,
tavern with this, I imagine.
they definitely would. Yeah, they definitely would. So you have a big crew with you right now, and all of them are wearing your colors. So you guys look like a gang.
It's got to be the Rough Riders anthem
Yeah.
starting.
I mean, literally,
Bro, that's a Rough Riders ball.
literally, Koa has on that DMX fucking vest looking shit.
That's what
Open
I'm saying.
He's walking behind everybody. Grrr.
We have to have some kind of yes.
And yeah, he think about like Okoye has on his armor. Like, yeah, so you guys are armed. You guys are armed to the fucking teeth, right?
Yeah, and armed to the teeth. We got the fly jackets and dusters that
Guinevere made. Like, you guys look like professionals. So so you see smaller crews. So when you were in Zedra, like you know, all of y'all got attacked pretty regularly by people, right? You guys are just like normal smucks. But as you go through the city, no roles required. You guys look like a fucking military force. You guys just get to your destination. You guys are legit. No one's gonna fucking try to challenge a dude in full or half plate. This is not happening. It's just not gonna happen like that, dude.
That's not the chump that gets jumped, no?
Yeah.
How far have we come? We used to get robbed by children in the street. Now
they see you like
they thought we were a mark.
Yeah, it's like and when you do get jumped, it's with by the head of the gang. Right?
Yeah, it's gonna be a hit squad, like a legitimate hit squad at this point. Yeah.
But you guys do go over to the Fragrant Garden Inn, and it is so the smell is pretty intense on the docks because of just how many tons of just spices are near there. But around here is very subtle and it's a lot more palatable. Coming to the boat is almost overwhelming. It's almost like working in a spice factory. It's like, oh my god, everyone fucking die. But
gotta wear N95s.
Yes. Yeah. It's like, but here, because it's the actual plants around the area, it's a very smooth and subtle smell compared to the dock. The dock was just unbearable to most people. But as you get there, The Fragrance Inn is a 1-floor building, but it's very wide. It's kind of done in a very like Puebloan. Is that how you say it? Like Pueblo style?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pueblo. Like, yeah, so like the building is made out of clay and sandstone kind of mixture, kind of into nice square kind of building blocks there. You see there's windows and there's nice beautiful curtains of purple and different varieties of colors. One, you guys haven't really seen too many colors outside of the clothes that you guys got made for Guinevere. Most people don't have very colorful clothing, but here there's so many different colors of clothing here. There's purple, blues, reds, greens. It's incredible. Outside of like nobility, no one wears anything other than like black, white, and brown, right? But you guys see commoners, it looks like, have actual colored clothing, which is extremely abnormal from where you come from. But you do enter this building here, and it's massive. You see several different, pretty much, crews sitting around at a different corner or table. And as you pretty much enter with your crew, you see that a northerner woman actually goes up to you. And she says, and she goes up to Gon and says, "Kinsman."
He just looks down at her just menacingly and says, "Speak your name."
My name is.
Clan.
She looks at you and she says, "My name is." Okay, I'm gonna fuck this all the way up because this is gonna be Mongolian. My name is Cool. Hold on.
Let's type it. Let's see.
So
My name is what?
My name is.
My name is who?
Dude, don't get this Mongolian. He'll mad as shit at me. I'm like, that's not how you say it. It's it's okay. Hold on. Her name is Alice.
Alice.
Okay,
Alice.
No.
There's a whole bunch of other stuff after it, but just, everyone calls me Alice.
Hold on. It's here you go. There you go. Ellen stinks of.
Senteg.
Hey, inspiration to Mark and the Funky Bunch there. Alta Tensateg.
As soon as we need to get her away from us so we don't have to say her name.
He's not saying anything, dude. What's the fun that you guys? I mean, really got seen some Northerners, but
can we just call you Alt and be good with it?
She says, "No, you cannot. I don't call you Eastern boy, do I?"
I'm at least using letters in your name.
She looks at you, and God, you know that calling. So shortening somebody's name is what you do for children for up north. Until you're a real man or woman, no one really calls you by your full name. So the fact that was suggested makes her feel like a child. But only God would know that because he's from the north. And she looks at you and she says, "But yes, you guys look like you are a full crew. So let me lead you to a table." And she says, "I am from the Owl Clan." And you look at her; she's definitely northerner, but she definitely has some of those Western traits in her soul too. She's definitely from the South. Her skin is a lot more tanner. Her features a lot more fuller. Her eyes are a lot more oval shaped and less almond shaped. But she still has that northerner build. She's like 5'10". Maybe like 160, 170. She's built. And she has that
thicker
classic,
than
like,
a Snicker. Gon definitely noticed the features, but he scoffs when she says Owl Clan. Like Owl Clans decided to come down from their high towers to a place like this. You're very far from home.
Well, Well, we're some of the best traders in the north, of course. I mean, we keep you guys fed. Without us, you guys would just starve to death on your damn wolves.
You've never fed me, owl woman. I feed
She looks
myself
at
and
you.
always have.
She looks at you and she says, really? Because I'm pretty sure when you guys were starving up there in the north, you needed supplies. You called us, whether we're or Westerners or not. She looks at you up and down, and she's not backing down.
You can think whatever you'd like. You don't know who I am.
Mm-hmm. And Gone, you know that the Owl clan does not get as much respect from other clans as other more northern clans because they're a lot more interbreeding with other races. Even though they carry much of the economic power of the kind of the northern front, they don't gain the respect. And truth be told, you know that without them, a lot of people would indeed starve to death. They just don't admit it.
Yeah, Gon doesn't admit it. He won't back down. He's one.
He's like, fuck these weak people. He's like,
He's all, you've never fed a damn thing. Unless you want to start now and give us a table, and I'd like some food.
She does. She goes over and leads you to a table, and she says, and it's a pretty nice table. Tables are clean as well too. You see several other crews look at you as well too, but you know that's just normal for your side. You guys have on fucking half plate.
Yeah, we're just rolling it. I'm sure got a bunch of side eye action from a bunch of people.
Yeah, because even like Juan has on Brigadier, which is uncommon. Half plate is rare. Full plate is.
If a commoner makes, was it a copper a day to hire like a?
Something like
that.
Yeah,
that's over a year's worth of their salary for Brigadier.
Yeah. So it's like
Yeah.
So you guys have on full. Yeah. So with half plate is like 4,000, right? So yeah.
10 years.
And several people have on half plate, not just you, but also Okoye as well too, and also Koa as well too.
Looking at the crew, Gon, he sits down, and are any of the crew standouts as far as they're geared up, or is it a mix?
So you know that because of what Okoye pointed out, it's like a slasher group. You do notice that there's one group that does have it isn't like clothing mark, but it's like all have a cut on the side of their cheeks, but it's unnatural. Which you probably assume that this is probably the slasher group.
Yeah, you can put 2 and 2 together on that one.
And as you look at Okoye, you notice that he has a very similar mark on his face, but until you would have met other slashers, you probably would have assumed it's like a battle mark or something like that. It wouldn't have stood out to you.
What's the name of the tavern we're in? I forget.
Fragrance Garden Inn.
Fragrance Garden Inn.
See.
Okay.
They say, Al Sinteg, she says, we have fresh fish today. We have swordfish, freshly seared. If you're looking to eat like a commoner, we do have soup as well, but I highly recommend our fish. We have fine ale. We have Western ale as well too. We have southern spice rum as well. We also have some reading materials as well if you like to read, and if you want to catch up on some of the news that has happened, we do have a trier that comes in that can update you as well if you like as well. If you want, we also have someone that does clean clothes as well too. You have any dirty clothes, we can get those cleaned for you. Also as well too, if you're looking for any massages or masseuse, we have that option as well too. Also, if you're looking for any kind of goods that you may need, and we can send out a boy or girl to get those for you, as long as you send out the necessary funds and the tip required to get that good or service. How may I assist you today?
Gon reaches in and pulls out a pouch that's heavy with coin. You can kind of see it stretching. The coin's edges are sticking through it. And puts it on the table and begins stacking a ton of coin. He's just got coppers. I really need to start getting some in silver over here. but lays down 250 copper and says, "That's for food and drink, whatever these men would like." And he looks over to the crew.
Swordfish. And yeah, I mean, seeing that,
Yes.
she doesn't even tell you the price. She just says, I'll get a round of swordfish, and I'll give Western and East Western ale and Southern rum here as well too. Full bottles, of course.
Well, basically, he's like, "Yeah, open a tab if you need more. Let me know." But this is for all the people here in the crew. We're also wearing the same jacket, so.
Yeah, and she definitely smiles and says, "Of course."
Any spiced wine, or is it just
we have spiced rum? A spiced rum. We have Western ale is very spiced. They don't have very good taste buds from them, even though I'm part Westerner. It's very pretty bland in my opinion. I like the Southern rum personally.
I think I'll stick with the rum if there's no spiced wine.
She smiles at you, and she says, "Have you heard of an undershirt?" And she smiles at you.
I got one on right here. And he pulls the DMX vest, like the bulletproof looking vest, tack vest out. Like, you know what this is?
W Riz. All right, give me a charisma check. She
Sounds
says,
about right.
She looks at you and she says, and she kind of taps your belly. You put on some weight there, buddy. Long days at sea. Eating really good, aren't you?
Yeah, well, not unfortunately, but yeah, I probably need to get back in the gym.
She looks at you and smiles. She says, I'll make sure your portion is a little bit smaller than the others, because I clearly know you're going to work out and impress me, right? She smiles at you.
Yeah. Yeah.
She smiles and says, yes, and she turns and leaves, and she gives you a wink still, even though you did fail. You failed forward. So
he's almost like, I almost look at that fail as like he has no clue what's actually going on right now.
Yeah, because so pretty much okay, just looking at the image of who Core is, a pretty attractive dude just in general, right? He's well built, tall, well muscled. Gon is not traditionally attractive. He's like the he's like the warrior kind of, like
he's rough.
Rough and tumble guy. But Koa, even though he's that classic like blacksmith strong dude attractive, right? Just traditionally attractive. Where so you can turn his hair. Well, he has that suave look to him. Not everybody like that, but generally speaking, Koa looks appealing. Yeah, but Koa appeals to more people on average, or at least more than average, because he's fucking like aren't like 6'8" or something, 6'5".
Hey, he's Fabio.
Yeah, he's 6'4", 6'5", just this hulking physique, dreadlocks, like muscly as all get out. The only thing about him that that could be a little scary is like the war paint look that's on his face.
No, that's not scary. Girls need to eat that shit up, dude. You look badass.
Yeah.
So all that being said, you see several of the tavern mates also turn and look to you, and you notice here as well too that most of the people that work in this bar are actually Northerners. There's very few Southerners here. Almost all of them are Northerners. Okoye would turn, and you see that a small contingent of people with scars on their faces approaches your table. And as they approach your table, we're going to cut over to Harry. Harry, you're climbing up the steps to meet the head librarian as you enter this place here. So, this can only be described as like, it's almost like out of character. It's like when you had like your first Christmas, you remember the first big Christmas, and like you open your presents and it was everything you wanted, and it was like, experiencing, like, it was like a magical feeling. It was like when you first rode your bike without falling over, or your first kiss. Like, this place is wondrous. You see several people
magic there. Moment.
I mean, this place is wondrous. I mean, it's 3 stories, and all along the walls are these kind of papyrus like scrolls being shoved. So unlike a traditional like bookshelf that has like like just sections, it's like almost like mailboxes, like office mailboxes with like like you have like little holes, and in along the walls it's got to be thousands of these holes along these 3 stories. It has an open Jay, help me out. I'm talking about an open floor plan where like you can see from the first floor to second floor to third floor, all the way up. And as you enter, there's like dozens of these, librarians and clerks dressed up in really simple white robes. Each of them has stacks of papyrus rolls. And as you're being led through, you go up to you go over to the first floor and you go into a large office, and you see that it is a southern man. This man looks to be about 50 years old, which is old for a old in this world. He is balding. He has the classic retired substitute math teacher haircut right now. George Jefferson cut right now. And he wears the same simple white robe, but he has like a single like silver emblem that signifies his position. As you enter with Ayana and Lucette, he says, "Please sit down. I am." 1 second here. His name. I am Khalid. So I'm gonna put that in chat. I'm Khalid, the head librarian. And I heard from my guard that you were looking for a library card so you can peruse our shelves for knowledge.
Yes, indeed. I'd also like to purchase some books if that's available. But first, the card.
He says, "Of course. I assume you're not a citizen of the city, no?"
No, just a visitor, unfortunately.
Understood. So how this works is
I wish I could be so lucky to live here.
He smiles and says, "The process of becoming a citizen isn't too hard. It's just quite expensive, but for people that aren't born here. But he says because you do not hold land here, a library card, and this lasts for 1 year, is 1,000 copper pieces."
Ouch.
So, Harry, you know that knowledge is power. Just like in the modern world, knowledge is power. And one thing the wealthy did to make sure they stayed wealthy and the poor were poor was keep knowledge away from the masses. So they made it absorbently expensive to actually gain the power to. Same thing with trades. They guarded this knowledge under lock and key or under exorbitant prices. If you do, you presume that if you do gain this library card, you'll be able to gain access. You'll be able to quickly learn different formulaic methods to make a variety of things, formulas. For example, for I would say after a week or two, you would immediately learn a different way of how to make different of all of your tinctures or whatever like that. And as you gain more and come back, you'll be able to spend a week or two here. So it dramatically accelerates the process because you have access to a massive knowledge of biology, science, and stuff like that. So if that's worth it to you, then it's worth it to you. But it is very expensive.
Yeah. Well, I don't have the money, so I'll have to
Ayana,
ask Ayana if she can
Ayana looks
it
at
for me.
you. She says, "Of course I can."
Holds the bank.
Yeah, Ayana says, "Of course I can. Don't trust you."
Thank you, my dear.
And she gives him. She looks over and she says,
"A payday advance."
She looks over and she says, "Well, I can do 1,000, but I could do a little better on the price. I have some friends in the city, and she kind of leans over at him, using womanly wiles, and she's like, "I do know friends in the city here," and
So she unbuttons a little bit.
oh, like it's already a deep V, but as he leans forward, that deep V is being, and she says, I know some friends that could make sure you aren't so lonely. It must get pretty lonely here. And as a merchant, she's gonna try to haggle some prices here. It's what she does. She's trying to, okay. D100. DC's just pretty low because, I mean, he looks and he says, well, I could come down to, the standard city. I mean, if you know people here, you're almost like a citizen. I can give you the citizen price. And he says 500 copper pieces. He comes down dramatically on the price. And she says, well, I know more than one friend that I'd love to come see you as you're a helper of people. And I'll make sure that as long as I'm here, you'll enjoy your time here as well. She turns to Harry and says, is that acceptable?
I mean, it's more acceptable, but I still don't have it.
No, but she smiles and says, I'll take care of it.
But yes,
Lucette,
it's very acceptable. Congratulations.
Lucette looks at you and she's like, you're not seeing any of her friends.
I don't need any of her friends, baby.
And she looks at you and she smiles, and Ion literally pulls out a pouch of copper pieces from the left teat area. Just pulls out some money, like a pimp, and puts down a 500. Without even like counting it, she just has apparently a 500 copper piece pouch. It just pulls it out and just pops it on the table, where he quickly counts it and hands you. He pulls out an iron piece, like an iron card. It's very similar to the card you got from the Gold Syndicate, and he asks you for your name.
Harry. I don't have a last name.
S. Truman.
Okay.
Okay, the Westerners are like Irish or
Gaelic
or
Gaelic.
Yeah. McLean.
Okay, Harry McLean. Okay, yippee-ki-yay.
I was just thinking the same thing.
All right. He will literally, with a metal press down and engrave your name into the name. And he smiles, and you see as he smiles, he pulls open. He literally lifts up a strange crystal that glows, and as he smiles, he says, "And now I remember. Welcome."
Now I remember. Thank you.
And you definitely feel like that was a shard that he just used, a shard ability he just used.
Okay, on the card, or on me?
No,
on
you
himself.
don't know.
Okay.
He pulled out a strange crystal like a shard. As a Westerner, you know it's a shard. And he held it up. It glowed, and then it didn't glow anymore. And he says, "Now remember. So take that as you will." He hands you your library card. It's iron. It has your name on it. Do you take this card?
I take the card, but I want to have like a good look at him. Would I know maybe like family traits from his face or something from someone that I know? Why does he remember? It's bugging me now.
So, so this guy has to be, so he looked 50, though his hair was kind of in a weird, like the George Jefferson look, but now that you look more closely at him, because now you know he's a shard bearer, he's probably at least 90. At least. This man is just very old. But as far as like facial features, you know, he has the standard look of the shard bearer. He's just an older one. They do age, just age very slowly. As a Westerner, you do know this. Or not yes, slowly, but their lifespan expand. That's common knowledge. All Westerner children that grow up near the church are aware of that knowledge. That being said, it looks like a pretty standard piece.
Okay, I'm gonna make a comment. Like I'm just when I see him use it, put it away. I'm gonna say, "Oh, you carry a piece of the Shattered One with you. How blessed you are."
He says, "All of us librarians have. This is a shard of memory. Once I use it, I'll remember the faces of any and all that have was captured with this."
Oh, okay. That's how he took my picture.
It's exceptionally powerful because not only do I remember the faces of the people that have came during my time, but also all the ones that have been stored before. I have a
so it's passed down from librarian to librarian.
Yes.
Just a crazy wealth of knowledge. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I've seen dozens of faces as well. Not dozens, thousands of faces as well too. And I think, currently speaking, I'm somewhere around 700,000 or so.
Oh Lord.
Yes,
that is definitely one valuable piece of rock.
Yes, it has been in Kabando since there's been a city here, and we've kept it close. As the faces do impart some knowledge. Like I see that you're an alchemist.
I am. That's like no feet. Like my fingers are all black from powder and shit.
But this is true. But you do think that the fact that, well, that could be from a variety of things, from a coal miner to a herbalist, whatever. The fact that he immediately pointed to your official or your main thing does seem supernatural. Because at least you probably have to guess, and to guess that off the top seems pretty hard to do. But he does say, "I appreciate you, and I'm looking forward to tonight." And he smiles and stands up and gives you a handshake.
I shake his hand wholeheartedly. Thank you, my good sir. I will go peruse your fountain of knowledge now.
He does say that we do not sell books here. The only way to get a book is to bring in a book.
Okay. I can take notes, though?
Yes,
Do they
of
have
course.
paper that I can
Yes.
buy? I imagine they sell it, but whatever.
Yes. Yes. As long as you are here, you can definitely use any scrolls and copy the notes you need down into your own wealth of knowledge. So yeah, of course,
We sell it at the gift shop next to the coffee mugs and keychains.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, paper and you notice well too. I mean, stacks of paper and ink ink definitely sells here, and 100%. Yeah.
Awesome.
So, they would lead you over there. Would you like to buy some paper?
Yes, definitely.
Well, this is about to. Welcome to First World Problem. This is gonna be expensive as shit.
Is it in the items?
Yeah.
Think so.
Yes. Yeah. So a blank book is 300 copper pieces. So that's roughly, I would say, like 100 pages.
Okay.
So
do they actually have it? If they have a bound book, I'm actually gonna buy a bound book.
Yes. Yeah. So they have in like a papyrus scroll, but it still counts as a book, basically. If that makes sense. But they don't have like in like a book, like they have papyrus rolls, and it would be the same price. Because you're a library member, it would be a little bit cheaper. So it'd be $250. Because you already paid the $500. And you're a library member.
Well, I can afford that. Yeah.
All right. You have a blank book. So basically, if you want to begin copying a full book, I would say pick a subject, and I would say the copy that full book over would take. I'm not sure how long it would take, but I assume like 2 weeks, right? To copy a full book over.
Probably a really long time. No, it's more like for taking notes because like I wanted information on a bunch of stuff, but since I can't buy the books, I'm probably just gonna peruse these books and write down the information that I wanted. Like I wanted like a recipe book. Well, I'm just gonna write down some recipes. I wanted to
Right.
look for stuff on woodworking, metalworking, smithing. So if I find
Mhm.
something interesting, I'll write some notes down on
Gotcha.
sailing and boat building, maintenance, like information that the group might need a
Right.
little bit. And then
Okay.
that stuff for me, obviously. And
All right. Well, let's start with stuff for you then. So as we start with stuff for you, um, so what area are you looking for first?
I'm gonna look. So this is like a Western library, basically.
They have all manners of knowledge, not
They
just
got
Western
Okay.
East.
the Dewey Decimal system.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna look specifically on stuff on the Western Fire, the black powder, and poisons. Like herbalism, alchemy is where I'm gonna go into.
So, with the Western Fire, that is their force. And also because you are a noble, well, not a noble, because you have access to this much currency, information is pretty readily available. If you were in the West, even if you had something like this, that books for Western Fire would probably be banned. Just straight up, like you just wouldn't have access to that knowledge outside of the church. But here, they have access to it. You learn of a different formula, um, or at least a different. So you learn of a different ingredient that you can use to make Western Fire, and I'll get those to you. But writing your notes that you learn of three different ways to make additional ways to make Western Fire outside of just the ingredients you know.
So,
So that's the first thing. And you'll have to that's sifting. So that'll be a presumably for I would say probably the rest of this day is sifting through different because it's not just in one book, but it's in a variety of scrolls of fucking Malcolm McLean's book of um Millard alchemical reagents stuff like that 1 through 6. So you'll have to skip through that. So I'll say this day, rest of this day you'll be spending on learning, finding and jotting those notes down of how to do that. You still need to find out
sweet.
the right amount you need. As far as like I need this much of this much of this, but you know of the ingredients now. You know that together they do make Western Fire. So be that as it may.
Awesome.
So there we go there. We cut back to the party as we'll Paul take our break here. We're a little over, so we'll take our break here, and then we'll go back to Koa and Gon and company as they're getting approached by some people with slashes on their faces. So we'll be back in 15. All right. Same time, same place, and see you in 15.
Welcome, y'all. We back
All
from
right, all right.
break.
Well, we're back. We cut back to Koa and Okoye and Gon being approached by some people that have a slash mark on their face. You see, as you approach, as they approach, um, in front is a Southern woman. This woman here, is a lot closer to above table, more Arabian or Persian, than more African, more like traditional, like West or North African. She's much more Middle Eastern or Persian looking. Um, and she approaches you, and she has a clear cut on her face. As she approaches, she also has a brigandine as well too. She has a cutlass that looks very similar to a scimitar. Behind her back, you see several Southerners, and you see a Northerner, and also a Westerner as well. And as this woman approaches with her squad, with their cut faces, they look at Okoye, and this woman says, "I see they let you out of the hellhole, the heel. Is this your crew? Nice colors. Did your mother make those?" And you see the people behind her laugh as they look at all of you, and he says, "Ah, I see." And then she turns to Koa and says, "I see half your crew doesn't even know how to wear shirts."
Your
And
crew apparently don't know how to shave. Gon digs into the food, not even looking at her. Pours drinks if there's drinks.
oh, yeah, your food is definitely coming to this point. And you see this woman snaps, and you see chairs are summoned, and they pull up chairs, and they sit at your table or attempt to. And she says,
I
"I
quickly
see."
when she says that half your crew doesn't know how to wear shirts, I nudge Jose in the ribs and go, am I really that big that I'm half the crew just in of myself? Or does she not know how to count?
You see that Juan immediately just busts out laughing, barrel laughing. He says, too many rums. It happens on the sea. Drog will do it to you, son. Drog will do it to you. Um,
And then
but
I down my glass of rum as he says it. Just down it.
down it. She looks at you. Um, uh, Koa, give me a charisma check.
21.
Okay. She looks at you and smiles. She says, well, at least you have some talent there. Um, and she says, but let me hear on behalf of uh, my crew. I see that one of my former members of my crew is here with you. And I heard you have your own ship as well, too. What brings you to my town? Fatima. She extends her hands to all of you.
Gon would wipe his face and slide his chair back and stand, and he'd shake her hand because we're here for business. We're hoping to get a little bit more while we're here. Information, even better.
Pretty good information. We know a lot of stuff. We do a lot of people. We smuggle as well, of course. So we talk to a lot of people, of course. But information is expensive.
Coin
You
we
know that.
have. Connections we have. Information, sure. We can buy that too.
Mm-hmm.
What do you know
What do you,
about? Do you have any information that's worthwhile?
looks at you and she says, of course. As a smuggler, information is one half the job. You gotta know who you're smuggling, what you're smuggling, why you're smuggling, and the profit margins.
Hmm. What can you tell me about the red serpents? Can you tell me
She
who
literally
their
spits
leader
on the
is?
ground. She literally, as soon as you said the red serpents, the red viper, she literally spits on the ground. Damn them. Yeah, crew out there out the east. mainly Southern and Easterners. Did they capture your brother or something? Why do you want to deal with them? They're pretty well fortified. They have like 4 ships.
They owe somebody I know a lot of money. I plan
That's
on
a,
getting it back.
that's a lot of people. And they robbed a lot of people, from my understanding.
Yeah. And the person that they robbed isn't very happy. But I know
Hmm.
that we can't face them head on. Now, what
Hmm.
I'd like, I hear that they're recruiting,
It's true.
may
They
be able
are.
to, we're thinking about talking it over, but what should we be afraid of? I know almost nothing about them other than the name. And I'd be willing to
Well,
make it worth your while, especially if the information turns out to be good.
well, I can give you an in if you need it. Actually, I know something about that old Capitan himself, and something that he does enjoy and likes. That you can probably use to your advantage. I'll give you the little bite so you can buy the big bite. First thing, um, he enjoys the company of men and women. He has a particular flavor in his enjoyment. He enjoys um, young men and slightly older women. He usually gets his first pick of the um, goods of flesh smuggled or flesh captured from different boats. Usually takes a uh, the best of the stock available to have in his personal concubine, um, which are mainly men, but there's a few women in there as well, for his own pleasure. So, a good inn that I would suggest if you're trying to broker a deal with him is to presumably find someone, particularly a young man or a boy, that is attractive that you can offer him as a gift to add to his concubine.
Hmm. And what's the name of this
That's
person? We don't even know the name. This is above table. We don't know the name of the leader. It's like, and what is their name?
Though I don't know his true name. I know that a lot of people call him El Capitan. Um, but people also call him Captain Red as well.
Hmm.
And that's with 2 Ds.
What's her name? Did we get that?
But yeah, Fatima.
Fatima. Thank you.
Yes. Some of the stories that I've heard about him is that when men, are alone at sea for long periods of time, things tend to happen. Some people discover a different side of themselves. He smiles that they didn't quite know before. It's quite common in soldier and sailor work.
Hmm. Interesting. That is good information.
That's a small bite. That one's free. You want the big bite, you have to pay for it. I'd say you have your own ship, have your own crew, you're wearing half plate, and perfectly fully embroidered clothing. These are very nice. You would know this, but because you just use everything, but um, your clothing, specifically your like garb outside of Koa, is actually silk. So it's very expensive. Uh, and she says, let's say, because I was freeing, how does 750 copper pieces sound for the big bite?
Surely we should start on the right foot.
I
500
did.
copper pieces, and you have yourself a deal. I
She
take all
looks
the
and
risk here. Your information could be bad.
this is true. It could be, but the small bite is easily confirmable to anyone that deals or knows with them. That's something that you can confirm to be true. Um, at least people that deal in that are pirates and deal in the circles and You definitely are a pirate of some kind. You look like you smell like one.
You're not convincing me if you tell me everybody knows about the small bite.
Well, not every. She just smiles at this point. She says, "Not everybody knows that he likes men. That's more of a close secret. But they do know that he does have a concubine. They just don't know who's actually in the concubine." And she kind of chuckles.
Hmm.
But let's say this: if you can settle on 650, then I think that's a fair deal. Because you do have one of my former companions, and I think that I'll be fair or generous.
Gone hands over some copper.
Is it 650 worth of copper?
As Gon goes to pull the copper out of his pocket, Koa pulls a bag from like a little pouch that he has brought from the ship and just sort of shoots it down the table into his hand, taking it off of the party gold.
All right.
Party copper.
Do you air hockey pass that to Fatima?
I send it. No, I send it to Gon. He can then decide if he's handing it over.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Gon grabs it like it's like he slides it across the bar, grabs it. He puts his coin away. He's like, pulls it up. Yeah, he'll slide it over. He'll undo the little cord and then slide it over where a few of the coins spill out. Like, this should be enough then.
All right. Okay. And she says this. This is so. I've actually done some business with them about a couple of weeks ago, and this is what I can say. Red has a brother. And several people actually, and a cousin as well that works in Swiss as well. But his brother, he was captured in a raid. Now, if someone, now he obviously can't go, and anyone associated with, but if someone could go to the Commando dungeons and are able to free him or purchase his freedom or bribe to get his freedom and return his brother, I'm very sure that Captain would be very ingratiated and would appreciate that greatly. And because you could say you have his captured brother on your ship, you don't think that you'd be blown to smithereens out there before you actually can reach him.
That assumes we don't get blown to smithereens while we're trying to break him free.
Just true.
Surely we can't just march into there.
And into the dungeon, no. But you can indeed bribe people, of course. I mean, this is Commando. Money rules out. Yeah. Money rules above all.
What is he locked up for?
Oh, he raided a ship. That ship was being shadowed by a Commando military ship, and they were harassed. And he was on the trade ship or cargo ship while they were raiding it and was captured.
And what is his name?
His name is, one second, Hassan.
Passan?
No, Hassan.
Oh, Hassan. Hassan. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So he's captured for piracy, and he is facing death.
It's good to know.
And that was the big bite. That being said, they're keeping the fact that he is Captain Red's brother under wraps, but those are in a no, which is me. If not, then most people that are, unscrupules like ourselves would free him just to presumably claim that bounty on his brother's life, return him. But because very few people know that he is actually in prison here, they can't really do that, can they? but you
Where
can.
Where are these dungeons?
They are underneath the Sultan's palace.
And so we're supposed to march right through the gates, eh? Do you know of a way to get in without being seen? Or surely you operate in the town. You don't have a guard or somebody on the inside that we
Oh
could
well,
work with.
so the Sultan's palace, people that have money, of course, and that have connections. As long as you can prove connection to somebody, um, in the town that is a citizen that could risk their citizenship to say that you are of keen and good moral fiber. She smiles. Then you can indeed enter the Sultan's palace. You need somebody to vouch for you for their citizenship of the town for you and your crew. Once you get inside, presumably you could potentially just go down to the dungeons, um, and you know talk to somebody. I mean, he is pretty unknown. He's not a high priority prisoner. If he was, uh, then people would know that he's Captain Red's brother, and then they would try to break him out. Because they're using his anonymity, you can use that against him potentially.
So we need to find a sponsor in the city. Huh. I have a few ideas. Now on to other business. Gon will go and reach for, I imagine, just like a chicken leg or something.
Yeah,
Bites
yeah.
at it, cheesy, greasy face, and he looks to Okoye. Okoye,
Koye turns to Fatima and she says, "Okay, so hi." And he says, "Thank you for letting me get caught, you fucking bitch." And he smiles at her, and she smiles back. He says, "Well, one of us had to take the fall, and I'm the captain of the crew, so I mean, come on, what'd you expect?" Uh, and he smiles, and he looks at her. And he says, "Listen up. We have a crew. We have a ship, and we know you guys have ships as well. But, we're on up and up. We're making money. We're making moves. Um, Xena, the skilled blacksmith. Um, we're looking to add her to our crew. That potentially blacksmiths are pretty hard to come by. Those guild halls, those guild masters are pretty tight about who they get to learn. Uh, Now, you guys just smuggle stuff. You guys really don't need a blacksmith. But for what we're doing, we need a blacksmith, really. What would it take for, us to take her off your hands?" And he turns to Gon, and Gon, as he looks at you, his eyes say, um, "We should probably not play this uh, the uh, the violent way. It would not be good." And turns over to you and say, "Gon, give me a charisma check at advantage because you are a master outlaw. This is up your alley. You're brokering goods, basically." Day 21. She looks at you and she says, "Well, Xena is useful, of course, but you know, money is money. Like I said, money rules all. I'll tell you what. If you want to take her on, I'll let you, potentially let her join your troop. She doesn't care where she works. As long as you get her a cut of the pie, I don't see why not. But blacksmiths are hard to come by. So let's say this: if you want her, give me, let's say, 1,500 copper pieces, and I will let her join your service. Now, she's not an indentured servant or a slave. Um, she is a part of my crew. I have to make sure that you have the funds to actually make sure that she'll be safe and okay, or at least safe she can be. If you can't front over 1,500 copper pieces, then you're not a strong enough crew, and I wouldn't feel good leaving her in your care. Gotta be a captain and all." She smiles. Gon turns to Okoye turns to you and kind of shrugs, says, We don't have to take it if you don't want to take it. It's up to you.
Do you think
It is a lot of money.
Do you think she's worth it?
She at worst she's a additional blacksmith, which is helpful. One for generating money. One, two for repairing the ship and our gear. Um, for example, if Koa's doing carpentry stuff, he can't do carpentry and blacksmithing stuff at the same time.
Gon just looks to Koa and nods as if to say, pay the woman. It's like, let's make it this a peace offering then. You and I can work together. We've got connections. You may not know the Crimson Dawn yet, but our name will spread, I promise you. It's better to have allies that can look after each other and get rich together. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, I do know that you have connections to the Gold Syndicate, which is impressive. I will say that. That's the only reason why I'm talking to you now and I haven't killed you in the street. Just you do have connections to the Gold Syndicate, and that is hard to get. I'm surprised you're able to do it. That's not easy.
And that's why we're asking about Red, because that's the person he decided to steal from.
And it all comes full circle. Be careful. Gold Syndicate, they have money, and money is power. But to them, life is expendable. Be careful.
I understand. Life is a gamble. We've given it up, and I've seen a lot of losing hands. Well, fine. I appreciate the concern. Count out the copper.
Would you be willing to take something other than copper?
What do you have to trade?
Little of this, little of that. Not something I really want to speak about in a public bar.
I don't know. I have a variety of things to trade as well too. To be quite honest, if you have things to trade, I would like to trading things always a little bit more useful than just raw currency. Honestly speaking, I could finagle and work ends better than just currency. So if you have something to trade, I'm interested.
Then meet us down by the docks. We're set up there.
She smiles and she says, "Sure." And as she smiles, all of her teeth are gold.
Gon smiles. He's like, I like that. And where did you get that done?
Some of the doctors.
He smiles that black tooth grin. He's like, I think I need to get these replaced.
She smiles and says, some of the doctors, of course. I have a bit of a sweet tooth. But some of the teeth rotted away. And she smiles and he says, I'll meet you there. And as she does that, I will cut back over to Harry Belafonte. Harry. Harry McLean. You have a last name now. So you are writing on your strolls for today. Lucette says, I'm going to go with Ayana and Guinevere, and we're going to set up the cart. So I'll let you do your studies. Just don't die. Please. It's a library. You can't die in a library, can you?
I don't know. Weirder things have happened, I'm sure, but I'm probably going to be okay. You don't have to worry. It's fine. You worry about yourself, though. You take care.
I have Guinevere with me. She's pretty tough, and I don't think she'll sell me to slavers, unlike Ayana. She turns out.
Yeah, don't let her bring you to that meeting with those fellows from the church.
They call me heathens. I would never do that.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm not a Westerner like you. I don't think, at least with Guinevere, I think she at least is interested, but I think they wouldn't treat me the same. They'd treat me like a lesser than equal. And she turns, kisses you on the cheek and the forehead, and says, okay, book boy. Well. All right. He says, all right, book boy.
Pinch as she turns around. Beep, beep.
All right. She smiles back. She says, don't die. And she turns and goes off, and she goes and sets up her cart. Kabando is a city of wealth. She definitely sees a some of these spices here. There are a couple of food carts here, of course, because of just how much spices is here. But she thinks she's better than most of these guys. So she's gonna set up her cart, looking around, and yeah, she's gonna get. She's gonna have Guinevere proselytizing beside her, Ayana helping to tighten up the rotations of her business. She's seeing that Ayana has to be with her for this. And Harry, please roll me 2d20 for Lucette. Tell me what you got.
Well, then 20.
Nat 20, holy.
You.
Okay, well, you'll make a massive profit for the first day. Let's see what you got. Oh, that's not how that works. I'm sorry.
100 plus 20 plus 250.
No.
100 d20.
Hold on.
Slash R 100 d20 plus 250.
That's 250 d or 250 sided dice.
You make 1,264 copper pieces.
That shows you how rare those nat 20s are. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, legitimately, like
exactly 2 1s and 2 20s in there. Isn't that funny?
I mean, she literally made off like a band. I mean, people have. I mean, once she has Easterner food here, you notice that there aren't too many Easterners here. Like kind of like I mentioned before, so her food is actually stands out amongst the crowd, and she's making off like a band.
All the rich people are like, "Oh, you want to try that new Mexican place?
Yeah.
Just opened up."
It's like this thing called street corn. It's exotic. It's a little exotic. Let's try some of this.
That
shit
is like crack, man. I'm so good.
It's like, man, these tamales off the thing. That's so great, man. It's like, she has that, Eastern. I mean, she's selling hockey. Like that street corn is selling like crack. But yeah, you'd be obviously in there all day. But once nightfall, she kind of packs it up. But she literally, I mean, dude, this is incredible. And Ayana, and you think that the 250 was definitely from Ayana, definitely upcharging. She's like, they're rich, they have money. Stop selling it for like 2-3 copper pieces. They're money. They're not brokies. Let's make money. So she's like, make more money, and they did. So through and through, she made off like a literal bandit. Lucette gains that. Guinevere doesn't. Guinevere's proselytizing. Koa, give me a 2d20 for Guinevere.
Okay. $16 and a 17.
All
Pretty
right.
good.
Let's see here. Let's see.
High rolls.
So let's see here. Give me a d4.
D4.
Okay. Give me a d20. Okay.
Damn, another 20.
She finds an Easterner here. 1 second here. And this Easterner would like to join your crew. And she's a survivalist.
Waiting for this day.
That is lucky.
She looks and she says, this Easterner woman here is about let's roll here. Gone, give me a d20. All right. She's 16. No. 14. She's 14. She's literally, barely a woman and obviously above table, guys. Not above table. Twitter. This is a different time. Breathe. But
was a different time when there was young people.
No. Because like you use women, people like, oh my god, like guys, like this is a different time. So this woman here is 14. And yeah, she's a Eastern Traveler. She wants to join. She sees that you guys have money and power, and seeing how much money you brought in, Lucette brought in by herself, and seeing that she's just one of the members of your crew, she's interested in joining. She says that she's mainly used to navigate. She specializes in navigating the desert sands. So good. Well, one thing that you have somebody that can actually navigate the sands effectively, which you didn't have before. So that's her specialty. She can navigate the sands. So, um, she was a member of the Desert Nomads or the Nomads Rest, and I'll have Koa the Easterner give me an Eastern or a Spanish name for this woman. No, I know gone. Oh, well, somebody. I don't care. Somebody give me a Spanish woman's name.
Chime.
Chime is the name of the continent, the southern continent.
Is it really?
Yeah, Chime. Yeah, it's like,
she's named after the place. Then
yeah, they named her after the place she was
not born as an
True.
Easterner. He's like, hold on, your name's
right.
like Dakota. It's like, hold on, wait, this is Virginia.
Coolin.
People have weirder names.
Coolin.
That's true. That's true. I mean, like Virginia's a common name.
What is the origin of that name?
Coolin.
Dude, that sounds Mayan almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it's like a Spanish-ish. It has a European Spanish.
Get that Incan name. Get that Incan name.
A little bit.
There you go, Chulin. All right. I assume the name's Chulin. And she looks and says, "Okay, no." So I'm pretty good with the bow. I'm pretty good hunter. Though it's not too much to hunt in the waste besides lizards. But I'm pretty good at knowing which cactus is good to eat. And I can. And then she says also as well too. Give me a D 10 plus 7. Because I'm actually also as well too. I'm actually a pretty good animal handler as well. I also can maintain giant tortoises as well.
So skilled and yet so young.
Yes.
We do not give any handouts. If you join the crew, you earn what you get.
You see Guinevere smiles and says, "She's a member of the flock. She knows that the Shadow One soldiers must be able to provide and maintain for themselves to be able to give to others. She understands it. She accepts what the Shadow God knowledge is, and she's willing to provide so that way others can eat from his bounty." And she smiles, and she has that and she puts her hand on her shoulders and says, "She's willing to earn. She's willing to help us. I mean, we'll have to navigate the sands eventually, to go to some places and to reach the masses, and one to get to the capital, I imagine. So I think she'll be helpful."
We have no beds for you. You can stay on one of the decks, but we have no quarters. We're just full.
Okay. Well, I can sleep in the crow's nest.
Don't forget,
exposed to the elements.
Don't forget, we have paid for those if we still wish at some point to return to the money we spent.
Dude, it's above table. It's so crazy because and to your point, it's like once you guys buy stuff and leave, it's so hard to go back.
Yeah.
Because it's so far away.
Well, let's not spend money up front. The problem is 3 months. We couldn't just sit there and sim it the entire time.
No. Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's like, well, and that's something you learn.
We left fast because there was something crazy that started happening, and we were like, we got to get the fuck out.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah. So
trashy people moved into the neighborhood.
Yeah, they were hunting Harry like he was a. It's crazy. I mean, well, it's crazy how Harry is usually the one that gets hunted the most, but usually, Westerners are the most religious. They just really just be proselyte. I mean, look at Guinevere. Everywhere she goes, she wants to proselytize. So it's pretty consistent. So, but yeah, no. She said, but Chulin looks at you and she says, I'm ready. To earn. Can't. I can also fish as well too. So out at sea, I'll be able to you know, uh, reduce our rations if we need to, or food. I'm a pretty good fisher as well. Not the best fisher, but I'm pretty good. So, you have gained Chula into your party. If you wish it, she wishes to join. She's a level 10 survivalist, roughly, and she is a survivalist animal handler, specializing in tortoises and hunting the deserts. Do you accept?
That's what we need. I mean, it covers two things that we don't have and we desperately need.
Okay. She joins your party. Dun, 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 dun. You guys gain 250 experience points for gaining another new member.
Sweet.
And also as well too. So, it's different. So like as you guys gain people that as you guys expand, like she's a potential companion, unlike a normal dude. She's willing to actually join your party and stuff like that out of her own free will than just like a monetary profit thing. So
Yeah.
like for example, like Juan and Jesus are more like if we're getting paid, dude. But she's there for different reasons.
Also, yeah, I imagine we have enough renown. Maybe not in this area, but I mean,
just overall,
just word around town.
We have
too.
clout,
yeah,
because of what we look like.
Yeah, yes, 100%. You gotta think, right? Word gets around fast in general. One of your members brought a library card. That shit is incredible. Incredible. You know, like it didn't seem like that much because of how much money you guys have been through, but to like the normal, like for example, like when you guys first started, could you imagine somebody just spending 500 copper pieces on a card?
Yeah,
no, a ridiculous purchase. Get some fucking armor.
Or food. It's something like
food.
We're sleeping with the fucking pigs.
Yeah, it's the best for 2 copper pieces a day.
Kulun, she's welcome. Gon is like good. We needed a survivalist. We've been looking for one, so it works out.
Kulun, what do you bring with you?
She has a stick. She has a stick. So she tells you, she says, "Well, I was a member of the Nomad's Rest. I was the seventh daughter of a leader of the caravan. But I wasn't going to get married off. And I didn't want to get married off to Dorner, which is she says is a 65-year-old sheep herder. So she decided. So she looks and says, I just rather make my own destiny here and see where that lies. I have a stick, and that's pretty much it. And my close to my back."
So Koa's gonna pull the bow that he carved off because he literally doesn't ever use it. Just has been carrying it because he built it. Made it from. You say you're good with a bow. Here you go, and he'll pull the quiver and bow and kind of pitch it to her.
She says, "Thank you. I don't have any money to pay you for this. I can't repay you for this up front. I mean, I could maybe catch some fish. How much does this cost? I don't have any money to pay you, sir."
You help us find our way when we need it the first time, and it's on me.
Do what I can. And it's something you know as well too is that it's something that Gone, not you, Cole, you pick him on. She's actually an Easterner, but she is native to these lands. That definitely stands out to you. Easterners are mainly seafarers. The fact that she's basically a caravan, part of a caravan troop, it's very interesting.
And if you die, we're going to peel it off of your body anyway. Gon just walks away. He's like, that's his way of welcome to the crew.
She smiles and says, "I'll says, well, if I'll see if I can help Lucette. I can fish. She seems like she's a cook, a chef, or a cook or something. So I can fish and get her some fish to cook for tomorrow." And so she goes out with her stick, and she pulls like literally like out of her pocket on her walking stick. She literally pulls a string out and ties it to the end of the stick, and rushes out to the docks, and she begins fishing. So
it works.
Hey, what you did. And with that, is anybody doing anything else today, or can we send forward to a new day?
Well, I think we were just waiting for.
Yeah, we want to trade at the end of the day with the
yes,
slashers.
Fatima, I forgot. That's what
Yeah.
okay, that's what Fatima.
And
So yeah, so Fatima would go to you. We'll meet you there. As you guys get done with Guinevere's thing. And Fatima's there with her crew. It's a crew of about 20 people. No, she wasn't. She's a crew of like 7 with her.
Say 20 people. She rolling deep walking to our ship.
Not that deep though. She's she's rolling with 7. She's not by herself because by herself you can just hit over the head and fucking take it. But she has 7 people with her. And she says, "Okay, I'm interested to see what you have to trade."
And Koa sort of pulls a little tarp back and has a small crate, probably 7 ingots of bronze sitting in the crate. Funds took a little bit to get here. We got this we can trade off for you. Because we still don't know Xenia. We still don't truly know her blacksmithing skills to begin with. I'm okay with the funds. But would you take that for that? That's about 1800-ish in bronze, at least where I come from.
As soon as you say that, Ayana literally cups your mouth. Or attempts to. Do you allow her to cup your mouth as you say that they can?
I don't think he would know that she was, because I think he's focused like right on.
Yeah, 7 is a ton. I forgot how much we sold them for, but it was a ridiculous amount.
Yeah.
For how many we have left,
we used 3 and got like 10 grand or something like that. I forget the price, but it was insane when we sold it recently to the south.
Okay.
So yeah, so this in the above table, this is where like the variance of prices, like in Zedra, you couldn't sell them for that much because the cost of that environment is significantly lower. But once you went to Sarissa, I believe you sold them for a sizable profit. I think it was like 3,500 a pop. With the and also y'all didn't have a merchant either, so you guys are getting fucking ripped off. In Sarissa above table. I mean, you know that now because to John's point, you sold them like 1,800 for.
Yes, again. Yeah, we bankrolled a ton of like 3 of them is what we used. So
sorry,
it's super valuable.
I didn't know. I wasn't from the standpoint of above table. I wasn't at that session, so I was still back on Zedra.
Oh, I would know though, so you wouldn't have made that mistake.
Okay, so then I would put I'd have 3 of them in the small crate.
Well, she would turn to you and says, "Well, Xenia's, like I said, only said about 1,500, so I can cover some differences here." She says, "What are you looking for?" I trade a variety of things. We have flesh, we have variety of goods as well too. We have
flesh. You said.
Just says we also have explosives. But flesh is mainly what we smuggle.
Explosives. I'd like to have my man Harry take a look at it, but would it be at night? Would they have already wrapped up? I'm assuming he's.
Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely nighttime. So Harry,
if they kick me out, otherwise I'm still there. So when I'm there, until they close, unless somebody comes and gets me, he's lost their time. He wouldn't know.
I would say at this point, so the library closes right before dusk, so that they can make sure all the books are returned to the rightful places. So right before dusk, you probably get most of the way through done with one of your formulas for the Western Fire after finding it. Before they would just basically say you must leave and return your books, or scrolls.
All right.
And
so if I'm there, yes, I'm gonna have a look at the explosive they're talking about.
All right. She looks at you and she says, "You're a Westerner, huh? So you must like Western fire, right?"
I do very much know a lot about it too. Show me yours, I'll show you mine.
Because even in
Lucette
Caban,
slaps
the
him.
Western Lucette is talking with Coolin about the fishes she wants. So you're lucky she's not there because she would literally Hadouken but from downtown. But
Like to him, it's not sexual at all. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't even understand that it could be used that way.
but Lou says she was there. She was there like from downtown. But um, she says even in Cabanda, Western Fire is very hard to get. I mean, you really it's illegal here too. But I'm able to come by it. It's not cheap though. But if you actually want to purchase it, uh, I have some. And you see that after like 10 ships down, a runner from her crew runs off, comes back with a small chest. And he's walking back. He's not running back. He's walking back very, very slowly. Um, he's like 1 step, 2 step, 3. So like 15 minutes later, he comes back from like maybe a quarter-mile walk. Um, and comes back and says, and he slowly puts them down, puts on the chest, and he opens it up, and you see it's 20 um explosive vials of Western Fire.
What's the quality of it? Does it look is it stable? Is it strong?
As you saying that you guys have bronze ingots there and you're willing to trade, she said you can test the potency. She pop open the cork of one, and she says have a whiff.
I'm gonna smell it. I'm gonna take a little bit on my finger. I'm gonna smell it. I'm gonna taste it. I'm gonna see what the components are inside.
Give me a intelligence check at advantage.
Bing bing 29.
Nice.
With the 29, you know that this is not the Western Fire that you know. Well, this is it's Western Fire, but it's made of different components. Western Fire is usually very green. This one is orange. Though it definitely still has the chemical makeup of Western Fire, it is definitely made with different components. But it is stable, and it is Western Fire. Um, Stable Western Fire is actually very uncommon to rare. Usually, Western Fire is able to be made, but it's usually not very stable at all. That's why people normally carry it very safely. But this, you could have this around and you could kind of jostle it and it wouldn't explode unless the vial itself burst. This is very stable. This is pretty good stuff.
Above table though, because usually it's by the level of the person who made it. So like in terms of power, what would be like the level of this Western Fire? Because mine is what I made it. Actually, does it go up level when I level up? Or is the level when I made it?
When you craft it, probably.
When you craft it, yeah. When you craft it. So you'd have to do more experiments beyond just testing. You have to actually like test it. But you know that it is stable. So one, that is a clear indicator that it is not trash. It is very good quality. Stable Western Fire is an indicator that at least a journeyman to expert worked on this. It wasn't a novice.
Okay. Well, I would say, it looks nice. It looks stable. I like the color. Definitely different than what I'm used to seeing. For me to make something like this would probably be around 180, 200 a vial. That's what it's worth to us.
She says that's worth to you. You have to get your Western Fire for pretty cheap. Listen, I would give you equal amount of Western Fire. It's the difference for that ingot. He points to the bronze ingots. My cut is 1,500, and I would supply up to the 2,000 roughly value for that ingot.
How many vials are in there?
20.
Okay.
So she says, I could do, let's see here. You know what? I can do 200 a vial, actually. It's bronze. I can do that. She smiles and says, "So I'll give you 10 vials for Xenia, and I will take one of those bronzes off your hands. Is that agreeable to you?" Iona looks to you and she Gon and says, "Great chief."
I'm gonna look at Gon and I'm gonna like make the sign like, I mean, it's good value.
Yeah, I think so. If we want to deal with the Red Serpents and their fleet, I have a feeling this is going to be crucial.
Useful, definitely.
And you see
Especially
Ayana
if we can go SEAL Team 6 and drop this off and blow up a boat, at least one.
I mean, you do know Western Fire is very explosive and powerful, so having 10 vials, you fucking able to ignite this. That's it's like Western Fire is comparable to like a hand grenade above table. It is very comparable to a hand grenade. It is no
it works
joke.
kind of the same way.
Yeah,
and it's double what I have on me right now, so.
So, it's no joke. So having 10 grenades go off in a boat is not a joke. So, but she says, I have turns to you, Gon, and says, "Great chief, this does seem like a good deal."
Make it happen.
I lift up the ingot out of the crate, just pitch it over to her.
You see one of her lackeys steps in front of her and catches it and says, "We're gonna just test it first." And you see a southerner comes out from behind and he pulls out a metallurgy kit and tests it to make sure that it is bronze and the good shit, not that weird tin stuff, and the quality's good, and it is actually pretty good bronze. And he says it's bronze, and they accept the deal. And you see that Fatima goes up to you, Koa, and shakes your hands.
I'll shake her hand.
All right. And you see she calls out Xena, and you see this other woman come up from behind, and this woman she has this massive backpack, and she says, "So I heard that I'm joining your crew. I'm not really a fighter. I just work on stuff. I'm not sure. I'm not a warrior, right?
It's what we need."
Okay,
we have plenty of warriors at this point.
Okay, I don't really know how to fight. Just to be clear, I can repair your armor. So like you notice that she has muscles. She's not like skinny, but you definitely can tell just from how she walks and moves. She is not a dog. She's not the kind of person. She's a tinkerer, a worker, not a person. But she does nod over to you and say, "Well, what are the terms? Fatima released me, and she said that I can work for you guys now, and seeing that I'm out of employment, what are your terms?"
The terms for this screw is you just sail with us and we split it even. Whatever you make.
I find that agreeable. And she extends her hands to you, and she says, "I'm Fatima. I'm roughly actually, hold on. Give me a D20 plus 10. See what you roll."
I don't know whose turn it is.
Somebody roll.
Plus 10. 11.
Okay, roll it again because no, somebody's inspiration. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I got inspiration. I'll do it.
Good Lord.
That one again.
Watch. No, 16.
Okay, that's better. Jesus Christ. Let's see. Zia is a quite skilled. Yeah, she's on a Oh wait. Yes. Now, she's roughly 16 here. Strange. Give me another D20 plus 10 for this. This is for something else.
You want to roll it, Mark?
26.
She's a level 26 blacksmith.
Damn. Oh, damn. Hell yeah.
They undersold her.
No
We got this
kidding.
cheap.
That was a deal.
So Koa's gonna kind of walk up and just kind of inspect her arms and inspect the muscles just from a craftsman himself. You know when those.
Yeah.
The muscles that stick out when you're a craftsman, right?
Yeah, it's like that dad bod kind of build. It's like he's definitely swinging the hammer for a living.
Yeah. He's just gonna kind of look her over. He's gonna turn around. Hey, Zeus, you're out of a bed. Walk over to Gon.
Hey, what the fuck, Holmes?
She's that good.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I know she pulls out a library card. I just go to the library. I just kind of work on some stuff when I'm in between jobs. Um, you, yeah, just Harry, you definitely think that she's very similar to you in the aspect of she's a learned person. She doesn't really like violence. She just enjoys the craft of making stuff, not really whatever happens after she makes it. But yeah, she is indeed a master blacksmith. She is the uncut cocaine of blacksmithing.
Mm-hmm.
She's higher level than any of us.
Yeah, I know.
Well, Sophia's higher level than her now. Sophia's
Yeah.
like 27.
We got
now.
her at 25, so she must be a little higher now.
And she's 27 now. But but yes, and also Xena says I specialize in helms and shields. The shields and helms I make are exceptional. It's what I do best. So whenever she makes a shield, you'll see something. Once she makes you a shield, you'll learn what it is. I'm not gonna spoil it, but she's really really good at shield and helms, is what she says. The helms and shields I make are exceptional. That's my specialty.
You only work in iron, though.
Oh no. I've made steel before. Yeah, and my steel is of very high quality. My steel's at the last time I used steel, my steel was roughly at, I would say, 70%. As a blacksmith, that is exceptional.
Yeah. He just kind of like shakes his head like, shit, I think I could learn from this person. Like, god damn.
And above table, for people watching at home, most steel's quality around this time frame would be like 25% to 30%, and some of the best was like maybe 50. But the fact that she's pushing 70% steel quality is exceptional. This is like, even the Japanese stuff was still not higher than 50% on average. So take that with a grain of salt. Not a grain of salt. Take that, with that as context to what she's saying. But she does join. You did gain Xena. And being said, Fatima smiles and she says, "Yeah, to be quite honest, we're smugglers, we're not warriors. If we get into a fight, we flee. We don't need to. We're not here to fight. Fighting doesn't make any money. But you guys seem like much more the rough and tumble warrior types, so it's probably better used to you." So Fatima looks at her and she says, "Good luck. Don't let these people try to get you killed. You're not a warrior. Be safe." And Fatima gives her a hug. And then Fatima turns to Okoye and says, "She was your friend. Make sure she's okay." And Okoye, you see, he also nods and smiles and says, "I'll make sure she's safe. I promise." And you feel like there was definitely something between Fatima and Okoye at one point in time. Also forgot to say as well too. She would also tell you, in addition to being a blacksmith, she's also a scholar, the expert scholar. Also, as well, 1 second here. I have it somewhere here. She's also a novice at carpentry as well.
Oh, very practical.
She's She's a learned woman that this is a
She's
really,
a redundancy.
Yeah.
redundancy is good.
Well,
Redundancy is
also
good.
just
Skill
extra
set.
work. She could speed it up. 2 people.
Yeah,
working
fuck
on
yeah,
it.
man.
Yeah. She wants the truth.
She's not gonna be idle often, that's for sure.
But you're not getting to the point now where, now that you're, one person without a bed is kind of okay, but now that you guys are at 4 people, you're gonna start to run into some problems and some morale problems. Now, one person, if 50
Well, that's
people
one of
have
the
a,
reasons why gone food and
yeah,
drink for the cruise for the morale lift. Because
yes, yeah. So 1 or 2 people, like if it's 15 people, and this is above table. If 15 people that have beds and like one person doesn't have a bed, that doesn't really start a mutiny. But once you get about 3+ is when people start talking, and you got to be really careful. It isn't like a big issue, but you really don't want people without beds, because that's
well,
supposed to the elements
what
above table.
Gon would suggest, we could always get them very meager rooms.
We have if we have a little
And very
time to if we have a little time to sit
Yeah,
here,
for now we can put them up, but
if we have a little time to sit here while we're digging for information and everything that we're doing, I can build an expanded bunk. Just gonna take a couple weeks or so. I think.
Well,
I
think we wait.
I think Xena's capable, though. We might be able to cut that down.
That's very true.
Harry would be like, I could use a couple of weeks here. That's for sure.
Yeah, we also need to. We have a mission that we need
It's
to
a
end
couple
by.
weeks.
Yeah, so
3 weeks.
I'm not necessarily. If we have the supplies on board, though, we can also kind of build it on the roll. So if I can get the supplies on board, we can build it while we're sailing. If we need to be sailing.
Most of it. You need the final touches have to be definitely no, but
The
my opinion,
the bed itself we can make. I mean, it's just a
Yeah,
matter
yeah,
of
yeah,
having
yeah,
the
yeah.
space. This is not going to be individual rooms for all these people at this moment. They ain't been here
oh
long
yeah,
enough
the
for
beds
that.
for sure. Yeah, but also as well too, you guys can just buy beds here, right? This is a massive city. It's a major city. You guys can just potentially so if you it's for time, and this
yeah,
is
they
where the
probably
kind
have
of
pre-assembled bunks that they just go in and bolt down to
100%.
the deck.
You're talking to a craftsman that likes to build, and you want to buy it.
Sometimes you got to throw money at the situation.
I mean, if we can do that, I think that not this night, but I would, knowing that we have this many people without beds, it would be finding a way to get people to sleep on something other than a floor.
Yeah.
I would just so sorry. So Zena would make that suggestion only because at a dock people trade out or just throw away or not throw away but sell off their old bedding and like that to get new bedding, things like that. So you can potentially get beds from old ships at a pretty reasonable price. Yeah. That's only why she'd make that suggestion.
Makes sense. Restore it.
Gonna
be faster and cheaper.
Yeah, it's gonna be tight sleeping for a while until we can get the expanded bunkhouse built in there, but at least they'll have a bed and not be on the floor.
Yeah, not supposed to elements. That's the biggest thing is the element thing, or I said kill them out. But yeah,
when she said she's gonna be in the crow's nest, I'm like, you will die of exposure. Straight up.
Christ. It's gonna get so fucking cold, girl.
Cold and hot during this just sun interface all day.
So you definitely think that she's never really been on a boat before. That's why she's the crow's nest. Okay, I can sleep up there, right? No, you'll die.
You'll like die. You spend one night there, you'll be crawling back under deck real fast.
Help. But yes. But Xena also says as well too that if me and Harry work on this, I think we can reasonably get if he handles because you're an expert carpenter, right? Or are you a better blacksmith or carpenter? I forget which one.
I'm an expert in both.
Okay, so if you're an expert carpenter, she's an expert blacksmith. You guys can handle the two halves of the problem, which would cut the time in half. So the week or two would only take about somewhere between 3 to 5 days. That being said, you are about 3 weeks out from your problem. It's going to take you at least a couple of days to get there. So just manage your time, because this is where like the time really becomes a factor. This is true.
You could hire 2 hands also and cut that down.
True.
We could, but we're also
get it done in a couple days and get the fuck out.
Bleeding money right now.
Yeah, we're bleeding money.
Yeah, but we need to go make 10,000. So
yeah, we have some things we have to do. We have to go and bust this person out of prison.
On top of
that's going to take some time anyway. We got to figure that out.
We've already paid to have this actually done somewhere. We just need some place for them to sleep at the moment.
They can. We'll get them a room. They can share a room in one of the. I'm sure there's a tavern or an inn.
Yeah, like the tavern you just left from had beds. So definitely an inn tavern. So it had beds there.
Yeah.
The fragrant garden that has beds there.
But if we wrap this up, get paid, and then head back to Dithra to chill.
Yeah.
Just to get.
So let's.
Just to get some shit taken care of, and then figure out where we want to go.
So let's think about the step 1 though. How are we gonna get someone out of prison here? We need to scope that out. But also, if we get someone out of prison here, we need to get the fuck out right away. Are we thinking of coming back here? Is this going to be a problem?
If we do it right, we won't get caught. Fatima made it seem like we could go in there, grease the wheels, and get him out of there. No one knows who he is, so he could just be a nobody. We might be able to play it safe, buy him out of there.
Could play it off like he's a member of our crew.
Yeah, someone's brother.
They don't know us, so.
They don't know us. We just need to keep our hands to ourselves while we're in town.
Okoye definitely says he's not Okoye definitely says we do not want to say he's a member of our crew, because that means that we're associated with them, that we're pirates. He's a pirate. He's part of our crew. Then we're pirates.
Oh yeah, right. He was arrested for piracy.
You can just say someone's brother.
Okoye nods. Okoye nods at that. That makes more sense. So you just say that someone paid to have him released. We're doing it on his behalf. Let's keep it anonymous.
Family member.
What if we say someone paid us to get him out of this prison because they want him bad enough?
The fewer the details, the fewer the details are better.
He's wanted somewhere else. We're coming in here. We're going to grease and pay them because we need to bring him to that other place. He has other charges there against him that are much more important than these ones.
But what if somebody knows that place and then they ask you questions about that place that we don't know about?
I keep the story simple. We start thinking of backstories. Someone's going to slip up. I think his family was concerned. We came and got him.
If they start asking, it's confidential. We're here to take him. We're here to take him alive.
Private family matter. All they care about is the coin. So if we make it more complicated than that, then it'll fall apart probably.
Koye nods and says, "Yeah, I mean, I've lived here almost all my life. The guards here, and he said, they're people. They have families, things like that. So they can, doesn't happen very often, but very powerful guards and friends of guards get captured all the time. They get, paid off and go missing, and it becomes a thing they can use to, raise taxes to get a better navy. So it all goes hand in hand. You grease the wheels. I'm very confident. I'm not sure the standing price. I'm not sure the standing price.
How much? Because how much coin do we have between us right now?
I have 130 on me.
Koye says I have 2,000.
I have 1,700. It should be plenty for a low level. Bribe them.
Yes.
5.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm always poor, but I'm rich with knowledge.
So we have about 5,500 copper between the 5 of us right here.
Guinevere says she has about 3,000 as well.
So 8,500 to get him out on the worst case. But if it's gonna make us 10,
he's not worth that much.
No.
The prisoner couldn't. No, not thousands. I'm talking a couple hundred, maybe.
Right.
We'll
Yeah.
see.
Okoye
I don't know.
would agree. I mean, I doubt it's more than 1,000. For someone, if people now, this is only if they don't know who he is. If one of the guards knows, then they could leverage that because some people not everybody's out in the loop. But some of these guards are dirty. So just be
Is
careful.
Captain Red? Do we know where he's from? Is he an Easterner?
No, he's a Southerner. And
Okoye, it
he's
seems like you need to go get your brother or your cousin out of jail. I'll have to leave it to you.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean it makes sense, and also yeah, and I'm from here. I may even know one of the guards here. So I know we would use it to our advantage. So okay.
Wouldn't that be a bad thing if you know one of the guards? Haven't you been arrested here?
Well, not every guard is clean, and also it was several years ago. I look very different. In Gun, you seen a
It's
Koye
been
when he
like 7
started.
years or something.
Uh, in like
How
four
long did 4?
4 years,
Okay.
4 years,
Slow.
but also uh, Gon, you know that Okoye now and when like before is dramatically different. One, he's like before he was kind of skinny fat, but now like with the amount of fighting you guys have been doing, like he's built like fucking okay, like a brick shit house. Like dude, he is no joke. Um, he does not look like the same person. If somebody recognized him from before, they have to be a very intimate relationship with that person, or very close with them.
Mm-hmm.
So do that as you go.
Is this the next day then?
I mean, this is the end of this day. You guys
End
send
of
me
this
to
day.
the next day.
Okay.
I was making sure because I don't want to because we can go to the next day. I was asking.
I think so. I don't know what else we need to trade for. We got what we needed.
So
Okay.
the only thing just before bed, even though I don't necessarily trust her, I'm gonna ask Guinevere and Ayana for the next morning.
Mm-hmm.
Will you go with Xena and see if you can find 6 beds for the ship?
Ayana nods. Whenever says, "I'll keep them safe." They're not fighters, so I'm a fighter. You know what I am. She smiles at you and
And
claps you
then
on the cheek and say, "Good luck."
thank you. And I will get you back from party funds if you can front the money for the beds up front.
That's fine. It's fine. I did bring on another mouth to feed. So if the beds are reasonable price, I will consider negligible to me. You're my friend, and this is something that you're kind of tasked with doing the whole bedding situation. So let me help you as a friend and as a believer. Let me show you the way that light comes in all forms. And she's smiling at you.
Thank you.
She nods and leaves.
And then yeah, that's you just to get that out of the way, so that way we know we have beds for everybody.
Okay. So she's gonna know that with the Ayana and Xena. Um, Xena also says as well too. These ballistics are basic as hell, and she says, "I'm surprised that you haven't made better ballista." She said, "I thought you were a blacksmith."
There's been a lot going on,
He also didn't make them.
and I did not make them.
She says, "Yeah, I mean the trajectory is kind of off, and it's just the sighting is kind of shit, to be honest with you." And as she's pointing out, you definitely see that she's pointing out more things that have to do with like geometry and angles than actual blacksmithing.
Yeah.
It's just like it's still a crossbow. But what she's pointing out is like so the sighting is off here by like 16 degrees. If you move it over here, you get a cleaner shot. The angle of this ballista is a little too high. I'm gonna have some arcing shots. So you want a much cleaner shot here. Also, these are the wrong tips. These are for like piercing like flesh. And if you're trying to pierce a hole, you need thinner bolts so you can pierce through the hole cleanly and go up to the center. Why are these bolts ready? It's a terrible bolt.
Do you like
Is she a
read a lot
scholar?
or something?
Oh
What a
yes, yeah.
nerd.
She literally pulled out a library card, and yeah, I said she's an expert scholar.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So she has
Yeah.
geometry. I totally want to learn that from her.
You know
I
that
want that skill.
she looks and she says, and she pulls out a library card. Yeah, I read. Yes, I do. I read a lot.
I think you are gonna become very handy on in our crew. It is so nice to have you on the ship.
She smiles and she says, "Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, some of these." And she looks at some of this armor. She says, "Some of this armor's, I mean, it's okay, but it can be definitely reinforced better. This definitely seems like a much more of a mass-produced job than actually a customized job. This armor isn't really fitted to you. What are you like, 20 pounds heavier than what you are? You lost 20 pounds or something? This armor seems pretty big for you. And your friend Harry and your friend Gon is like, he's if he farts, his arm's gonna fall off."
Again, yes, it's been I have not had time to actually, nor the capacity to spend weeks in a forge, unfortunately. The hopefully the work area is coming on the boat at some point where we can do that. It's just not been here yet.
Interesting. Well, I just wanted to let you know from like a professional standpoint that some of the stuff is kind of shit. I just wanted to just be upfront with you and say we're on the same page. I don't think you're shit or all of your work is shit, but some of this is shit.
Can you turn this shit into not quite as
gold?
Shit? Nah.
No,
at least not quite as shit.
No, it's only gold. It's only gold. Yeah, standards. Listen, if another blacksmith came up here, he'd probably smack me if he saw me say I was a blacksmith. Some of these, I mean, look at this thing. Look at the thread they use on this. This is just.
Gon raises his voice like just to cut off her ramblings. Like, then do something about it. We can bitch all day. Make yourself useful.
Oh yes, of course. I'll do what I can. Hey, just be careful. Eating in that armor. Gon. If you eat the wrong way, you might fall off. That thing's really tight. I'm surprised you can breathe in that thing.
I don't need to breathe. You just.
He's just walking around.
Breathing is for the weak.
It just sucks in his gut.
Yeah, just all the time.
Yeah, because you can't think about it. You can't think about it, right? Because okay, Gon is huge.
He's and pulling it on the edge, just trying to get some extra room.
Yeah, man. They don't mass produce 6'8" size armor, right? I mean, this is not happening. Yeah. He's just walking around with this.
The buckles and straps are at the very. He had to drill a couple of holes just for it to
right. I'm gonna. Koa is gonna grab
high water leggings.
Yeah. Koa is gonna grab as I'm assuming we're starting to kind of go scout out. He's gonna grab the shield that he made in like a day and a half back at the forge was not Sarissa, it was before that, I believe. No, it wasn't Sarissa.
Mariposa?
Or in Mariposa, yeah. And he's gonna hand it to her. When I get back, I said, that was a day and a half of work thrown together quickly. Critique it and let me know what you think. And then kind of walk off the ship and start walking toward, following wherever we're heading at the
before you leave before you leave the ship, she says, hold on, let me show you. And she pulls out a hammer and she looks at it really closely. It looks very similar to your analyze skill. And then she taps it on the side and your shield explodes.
It was shit. Yeah, it was like our bad roll.
Quality one.
Yep.
She's like, you need a new shield. I'm sorry, I can make you one. Just give me some time. Just don't get in any fights in the near future. Jesus, good luck. Okay, bye. See you in a bit. Bye. And she's literally is like also she brings her own anvil too.
Her that's anvil was in the backpack.
Way better. So this is definitely a professional, because it's definitely quality of anvils. This is a very high quality anvil. Yours was definitely more like my first anvil kind of thing, but this is like legit.
It's probably the slightly overpriced hobbyist anvil is what I.
Yeah. Oh my god. It's like, look at the colors on it. It's better.
Whistles.
Yeah.
It's colors. It's like when people buy those expensive computers, like, look at the RGB, look at the lights, it's so fast.
I
It's like,
spent
no,
I spent my money on the carpenter's tools, not the blacksmithing tools.
It's like so many lights on it, guys. It's so fast. But yes, yeah, she brings her own anvil. And you see that her hammer, the head of her hammer is actually steel.
Yep.
And she looks and just, okay, I can work on some stuff here. And give me a D20, call high or low.
High. Always high.
Okay. She says, I'm working on a shield, and she kind of goes over to you, looks at your arm, says, pull out some measuring tape. She says, okay, give me a stance, give me a pose.
So
as if you're using the shields.
Yeah, he'll almost, because you'll see him. He'll take the two-handed hammer out and go, "Not sure that works," and hold the hammer up like he's swinging it. Unless you can attach it here.
He says, "No, it's gonna fall off between the dick." He says, okay, well, you're okay. Well, never mind. Leave. I'll just make a standard shield, and I'll get to the refitting later. Bye." And she's like, goes to set up her area with her hammer, and she's like moving stuff out of the way. She's like literally like just moving stuff, like move, 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 move. She's like, the classic like, old school badass foreman dude. He's like, this is shit. Move it out of the way. But yes, you guys doing that. They definitely that. And it is morning time. All right, so you guys are going over. It is the next day. It's day 23. So are you guys going over to the Sultan's Palace to do that quest? Do that. You have anything else you want to do?
And Okoye. So we have to go to the palace to get the prisoner, or that's to petition him to. Hold on, let me go back.
Okay,
a sponsor to get. First of all, we need a sponsor to get into the palace.
This is correct. Which you assume will cost money because no one knows you like that to vouch for you. Their citizenship is not just vouching for you; is also betting on their citizenship.
Zena's not a citizen.
So she is a citizen, but she doesn't own any land, so she's not that kind of citizen. So it's like citizen is like it's like you were born here and it's like you're a landowner. It's like landowner citizenship. He's somebody with some money.
The only lead that we would ever have is maybe a representative at the Gold Syndicate. Otherwise, we don't know anybody.
Could we just show the card? Is that the vouching enough?
No. You Okoye would tell you
by a person.
You gotta be because that could be from Gold Syndicate valuable to them, but to the Sultan, he doesn't know who the fuck these people are. But there is a Gold Syndicate here.
Koye should be heading out to try to get Hassan out of jail, right?
Yes. So he is from here. So he can definitely go in there by himself, but all of you guys won't be able to come. So if he goes in there, he's by himself. So he'd have to resolve that by himself.
Well, I think that makes sense. I mean, nobody else is going to be able to go with him unless it's.
It'll look super suspicious. And a whole fucking crew of people roll
up. Fully armed people.
Him going to get him out by himself does make sense.
Yeah.
Okoye nods and says, "I can take care of myself. I'm from here. I know where to avoid and what to avoid. I'm confident. And Okoye has fucking half plate, bronze spear.
Is there a Gold Syndicate hub here?
Yes. It is. Yes.
It's a place to start. I don't know if we can get someone to vouch for us, but it's the only connection we have.
I mean, it's definitely a good shot. I think. I mean, especially because we're doing a quest, for the Gold Syndicate.
Yeah, it's to help. It's like we need this. It's part of the quest.
I don't think they would mind as long as you don't get caught. I assume like once you get caught, they probably would say you probably coerced them to do that. But just don't get caught, right? And Koye smiles.
I mean, can you clarify why we need to go to the palace? Is that where the
So-
prison's at?
Correct. Is underneath the palace.
So we need to get in first, then he can go and handle.
Correct.
Okay. Well, that's the only lead I can think of, unless anybody else has any ideas.
Yeah, to get into the palace, so
Okoye
we
did
need a
say-
sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okoye also just says, well, too. I mean, we could take a. I mean, that's more of a gamble, but we could just potentially just purchase some flesh as like an offering to him. That is also a way too. It's less of a sure thing because he could just be in a bad mood. But if you say somebody's brother, that's a good mood. It's pretty reliable. But it is possible that we can just purchase flesh and just give it to him as an offering. That's not a sure thing.
I don't think it's enough. The type of debt that he owe us for his own blood. I think that's the bigger payoff, but it is risky and it's going to take some work. Well,
I agree.
maybe we go to the Gold Syndicate and just see. We don't know. I mean, we can at least try there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if we have to, we can do a job for somebody in town who's a landowner to get sponsored.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I think the Gold Syndicate is a good idea. And Okoye turns and says, all right, let's do it.
And we'll head over.
Harry, are you going to pick the phonics?
That's the name.
Doesn't really sound like they're gonna need him, so I think he's just gonna sneak away to the library.
He's like, all right, got him coming. He's gonna stick a fork in the left.
You guys have this, right? All right, bye.
He's already gone. We're like, wait a minute.
Right. So yeah, but you definitely go there. And Lucette is so above table. So you guys going there. Lucette's going to set up using Kulin fishing and things like that. And okay, they're with you. So Guinevere, Okoye, Akoa, I assume you're going as well.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean the main four outside of Harry, which would be five, is going. So you guys go to the Gold Syndicate. You guys flash them your card. The guards immediately kind of step aside and let you go enter. It is a two-story building. It definitely is very opulent. I mean, this is so some of the pillars inside of here are made out of marble. Marble is not native to this continent. It's imported from the West. So this took some serious money. Because that's fucking like 15,000 miles away at this point. So that being said, as you enter, there is a variety of people here. It's mainly Southerners, of course, but there are a large amount of Westerners here. I'd say it's about half Southerners and half Westerners. You see a Northerner here and there, but it's a lot of Westerners. And as you enter, you see one of the Westerners approach you, and he says, he's a male, blonde hair, short, and he looks at you and he says, "Greetings, Coin Master. Just hold on, Coin Master Jebediah. How may I be of assistance to you?"
We're here to ask a favor. We're
All right.
hoping to get a sponsor to visit the palace. And this is
All right,
this is on official work for the Gold Syndicate, and we'd appreciate anything you can do.
So you need a sponsor to the palace. Well, let's come to my room and let's talk it over. And he goes over to his area over here, and you see that he has his own like office, and he goes to his office, and as you guys enter, he says, "Please close the door behind you." And
Click.
he sits down. He sits down. This man looks to be in his mid-40s, and he looks out and he says, "I see that my notes tell me that you are associates of the guild or the syndicate. Very nice. You're doing a quest to help us out. Interesting. Well, this Captain Red has been a thorn in my side as well too. So I shall sponsor you. above table, you guys gain 1,000 experience points for a creative solution to this problem. And he looks at you and he says, "I'll sponsor you because he has been disrupting my plans as well too, a lot more actually so than Sarissa, than our sister hub. So if you can take care of this, you have my sponsorship. I don't care what it is for, as long as it does not come back to me. If you do any illegal things and get caught, I will assume that you try to. I will say that you accosted me and tried to get my sponsorship by force. That understood.
You don't know us. I get it. Yeah, right. That's fine.
All right.
Don't plan on messing up.
You see that he opens the curtain, and as he opens the curtain, he goes over to you, Gon, and he says, "Now grab me without my shirt so it looks believable, so we have witnesses."
He does it, but doesn't play around. Super aggressive. Goes in, grabs it, possibly tears it, lifts him up from the ground. Mm-hmm. Basically does it in a way that might shock him because it's so violent and real. Yeah.
So
tries to sell it.
You definitely feel like this would definitely shock like 85% of most people. But as you look at this coin mass, you see that this guy has definitely seen his fair share of shakedown at the very least, or been a part of them. He definitely seems phased, like, wow, I didn't even think you do that. But he doesn't seem like, oh my god, you did this too much. He's definitely seen some shit before.
This is what I imagine, like.
Yeah.
I imagine Gon, like when you're at the end, you like throw him down, like so he's laid down. Koa just steps.
Swear to me.
Koa's just gonna step over him, looking down at him, like as he as you kind of prove the end of it, that there's that it was a true shakedown.
I mean, yeah, and he kind of puts himself together, and he's in a soft smile like at the tips of his lips, and then he turns and says, "Okay, that'll work." And he sits back down and says, and he says, he opens the door and says, "Now please leave now." And he opens the door and looks at all of you.
Did he give us something to be able to show for the palace, or?
No. You definitely think if you say that you are sponsored by him, this is very viable. You'll need a passport.
Yeah. Gon would storm out, just muttering under his breath, "God damn bastard." But he'll head out.
Koa walking behind him. We got what we want.
All right. Okoye smiles and he says, "Pleasure doing business with you." He kind of tips his hat at him and turns and leaves. And Guinevere just looks and says, shrugs, and leaves. He just shrugs and leaves. All right. That being said,
not the worst thing that we've done.
No, not by a long shot.
This is the first time we've actually had a fake
being bad, being like dicks. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the higher you guys go up, the stranger the things you have to do, and the latter. But you guys are unofficially sponsored by the Gold Syndicate. What shall you do?
Koye, the way that we're playing this, I don't think you're gonna need this. But just in case, and I'm gonna, grab his wrist, pull his hand open, set a lockpick into his hand. Never know. Roll his fingers up around it.
I agree, but just in case, it's always good. Because what if I get around to get pinched or something like that? Right? You see that he literally opens up his shorts and he drops it right next to his unmentionables. And he says, "Okay, I think I should do this by myself, personally speaking. I think that it'll attract too many people if all of us go. Personally speaking, we should be standing out like a loose thumb."
whatever we do, we need to clean ourselves up if we're going to the palace.
Should we take off our colors before we go in too?
Yeah, I say we don't fly the colors, get cleaned up, haircut, shit shower, shave, new clothes if we have to, the whole thing. Hit the laundry.
Like whenever looks at you and he says, "Oh, you're learning." I remember, didn't you try to go to the House of Shardry and get?
There's a couple places where you just look like a haggard, like homeless person, and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Fuck out.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, he's learned his lesson. He learns sometimes.
Yeah. So, as the party's doing that, I'll say we shall end this session here with the party heading out to go to the palace for the first time, being around opulent wealth, with Harry learning additional skills and Lucette trying to become the best street vendor this side of East LA. We will end the session. We will end the session here. Thanks, guys. See you next week, and we're gonna keep on swimming. Peace.